Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode. I am Michael Petro, and joining us on the show today, we have knighted a new debater, ladies and gentlemen. Charles Fernandes from our special features episodes, our bonus content, some of our previous debates. A guy who I have yet to meet in real life due to a pandemic getting in the way of actually sitting down and enjoying a beer with this man. Charles Fernandes is now an honorary debater who we welcome onto the show during this episode, also featuring the likes of Martin Navarro, Jimmy Skinner, and myself. What are we debating for you this week, ladies and gentlemen? Well, not all of us. In fact, all of us are not really. Jimmy was good at sports, but the majority of us were not people who sportsed a lot in our youth. And we thought, wouldn't it be fun to play a sport the way we know how to play sports? So we are debating for you this week the best Quidditch team we could draft. We pretended we were general managers. And inspired by all things Harry Potter, we found out that first of all, we started with let's debate Quidditch teams. Imaginary Quidditch teams. Then we found out Quidditch was a real fucking sport. Who'd have thought that? So people actually play this. So we took this a little bit more seriously than we were going to because we didn't want to offend any of you Quidditch players out there. So if you know somebody who's a Quidditch player in real life or likes watching Quidditch in real life or just likes Harry Potter and Quidditch in general, send us an email at therealdebaters@gmail.com and let us know how we did. We'd love to specifically hear from you Quidditch fans out there. So we draft a team. We are the general manager. We argue why this team would do so well. We picked the 4 spots: blocker, seeker. This is why I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. All 4 positions, ladies and gentlemen, were from the actual movie. So we've picked from TV, we've picked from cinema, we have collected the best we can, and we will offer you it this week in our debate in hopes that one of us will get maybe closer to sportsing one day in real life. Anyways, that's what's on the show. And nothing new. Oh, no, there is new things. It's so new that I keep forgetting to mention it. We're now on YouTube, combining forces with some really big names behind the scene. Big names to us. Steve Taylor, who has done this show, who also has a very strong lookalike out there to his alter ego, Chris Cook from Cook Like Chris on YouTube. He's helping us make movies for our YouTube channel. So we now have a YouTube channel. Search Real Debaters. What will you find there? There was no record skip there. That's just me, ladies and gentlemen. You will find real quick movie reviews, how we like to talk about movies, how we like to review them, and we've put a little fun twist on them for you. So go search us on YouTube, Real Debaters. Pretty simple. Subscribe while you're there. And we'll have a new video for you once a week. Friends of the show are going to be doing it. We're all going to be doing it. Maybe I can convince my mom to do it. Maybe one of you want to do it. Who knows? Get at us. Follow us at Real Debaters on Instagram and Twitter. It's at Real Debaters, REEL. Like I said, the email address, if you want to send us an email, is therealdebaters@gmail.com. And for all you new people who are curious, who've pressed play for the first time and want to get to know us better, head to therealdebaters.ca after you're done. That is where all of our information is. So that is our cast bios, which we are currently working on revising for you to give you a little bit more of who we are, share who we are with the world. We have, like I said, cast bios, blogs, where you can subscribe. We make it all easy for you. It's like a one-stop shop. Find your favorite podcast player. You can subscribe to us there. Note the word subscribe. That helps us. That really makes the show do well because the more you subscribe, the more viewers we get and so on and so forth. That's the name of the game. So while you're there, find a place to make sure you're always in the know about us. And if you want to support the show, if you like what you heard, if you thought it was funny, if you thought it was charming, if you thought it was cute, whatever you thought, if you want to support us, there are 2 ways to do that. You can go to our prop shop. You can buy all of our gear there. We have a threadless shop there. T-shirts, hats, hoodies, all the regular swag, plus skateboards, tote bags. There's some really cool stuff there. So the prop shop is one way, and if you don't have the bank to buy a T-shirt, that's totally fine. You can donate like $1 or $2. We've got a donation tab that allows you to donate pocket change to us because to ask for anything more is ludicrous. And if you donate something, you will get something in return. There's a little list there. And I owe Sam from Witch Police Radio a shout out because he donated $1. So Sam, this is a shout out for you, buddy. You have been a great support to our show. When we first started, you took questions from a random stranger who was me and had me ask you a ton of questions, and you were super supportive, and you didn't make me feel weird for doing that. So Sam, thank you from 2 years ago when some random dude was like, hey, I started a podcast. Can I be a part of the community? Thank you for that. Thank you for your dollar, man. That goes a long way. You wouldn't think a dollar would go a long way, but if everybody donates $1, it goes a long fucking way. To our supporters, our top 10. Let's get to it, okay? If you're new, so your first time, we like to say thank you to the top 5 places in Canada and top 5 places in America that subscribe to the show, because Europe has yet to pay attention to us, but that's fine. Dance with who you came with, not with who you want to. So, in Canada, I think I have Canada up here first. Yeah, okay, here we go. So, we'll start with our hometown as always. Hometown always leads the pack. Winnipeg, Ottawa, Toronto, Niverville, and Richmond. Thank you so much. Thank you for talking about us. Thank you for creating these little download pockets all over Canada. We appreciate it. That's why we do it, for you guys. So whatever you're doing, we appreciate it. These are the heavy lifters. Everybody who listens to the show, we absolutely love. But these are the people who go to work on Monday and say, I found this really dumb podcast, but it made me laugh. You should check it out. That's what these people are doing. So maybe one day your town will be on there because you guys decided to talk about us. To the south now we go to San Jose, Southington, Mountain View, and Cedar Grove, and Boardman. That's 5. I can really count. That's 5. Thank you to everybody again in the States, but thank you to our friends in California. Watch The Wizard. That will make more sense. Thank you for listening to the show. I have nothing else for you except a really great debate with some really good people. So I will cue the reel, and you enjoy the show.
Let's tidy up this tangle of film by putting it on a reel. Here is a motion picture film, 1,000 feet, 16,000 separate photographs.
Welcome, everybody, to the official space section of the Charter.
What's the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Sir, you're out of order.
Out of order. I show you out of order.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Michael Petro.
I'm Martin Navarro.
I am Charles, and I like to party.
I am former Blockbuster employee Jimmy Skinner.
And we are the fucking real debaters, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another production. We are glad to have you. As you know, Charles has found his way onto the show. Me and Charles have been doing bonus episodes together, and we have now publicly give you your knighthood, sir. You're now... Me and Jimmy were talking about this before the show. I thought it was funny. I was like, we're like the Sons of Anarchy. You're like a half patch.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Like
we're patching you in.
We're not as violent, and we're not we don't ride motorcycles, but fuck, we're tight. So
Fuck the
Do you
establishment.
need me to bring all of that in? Because I'll do it. Do you need me to kill someone?
leather hot.
We got enemies.
That's how we're going to take down all the other podcasts.
So this is Charles' first debate after being knighted, and there's no piece of paper. Nobody's gonna call you sir. We're sure fucking not gonna. So I just wanted to put it on record that Charles and Ian Bawa are now half patch members of the show, and we're very fucking happy to have them. So thank you, Charles.
Yeah.
Back to
Oh, thank you. Man, I'm beyond pumped. I can't wait for the certificate in the mail and you guys to call me sir and stuff. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm pumped.
For Charles. Actually, I might want to do that. And we also fucking chat, ladies and gentlemen. You don't get to see this stuff. Well, you get to see it now because we've been posting it. But Steve said to me, he was like, "Man, the shit you guys talk about, you should post that online because it's like people would really enjoy to see that." And I was like, "Fuck you, I don't think they would." But okay. Reviews have been good so far after 2 days, so we're going to continue to do it. But I know we were talking in the chat group, and I've lost my train of thought as I was.
Steve said the shit we talk about on the show, or we should post the shit we talk about.
Yeah, we should post the shit we talk about. So Ian has now. Oh, I remember what I was saying. Ian has now. Fuck, I'm hot. I got to take off the sweater.
Oh no.
Mike is removing his sweater. He's stripping for us right now.
Yeah, you guys can't see it, but it's actually he's wearing a robe and he just took it off and he's just butt naked.
His dick is way out.
Those are pancakes. So $2 loonies there, boy.
Boy.
Catch his dick this weekend at the Trop of the Toad.
It's not. Come one, come all. Don't come too late. No, what I was saying was finally adopted his dog Diamond, and you will be.
Is that the golden retriever or the golden lab?
Golden lab. I think it's a it's a lovely mix. But
Mhm.
I asked him, I said, Mark was like, wasn't Burger, your cat, our mascot? And I was like, unofficially, but I would like to officially, there's a lot of official shit going on today. I would like to officially welcome Diamond as the Real Debaters mascot, which we will be just posting cute pictures of and tagging
Oh,
fun TikTok.
yes.
So we now have a one-eyed, beautiful, adopted lab named Diamond as our.
People like animal pics.
They do.
They like animal pics.
I hear
The
YouTube.
internet loves it.
So maybe we'll win with a beautiful Labrador. Anyways, you guys didn't come here to listen to us talk about this dumb shit. You came here to listen to us regale you with what we've watched this week. So without further ado, I'll go last because I'm still working on a frame of reference for what I watched last night. Jimmy, what did you fucking watch this week, buddy?
Jeepers. What did I watch this week? Well, I guess I can give us a little sneak preview to a debate coming up soon. I watched Mean Girls.
You did,
Yeah.
Sierra.
I've never seen it.
What?
Seriously,
Yeah.
is Children of Men or is this
Whoa.
real?
I've seen Children of Men. I was just really high and don't remember watching it the first time, but I have seen it before watching it. And I've seen it again. I've
You're-
watched it fully sober.
Such a good one.
So high.
Yeah.
I forgot about Mean Girls.
It'd be interesting for you, Martin, to watch Mean Girls now because it definitely has a lot of like 2000s like
Oh.
references and shit. You know what I mean? Like, so it'd be interesting to see how you find it because I love it, but it was definitely a different experience rewatching it now than like when it first came out, kind of thing. But yeah, that's wild.
I think Mean Girls has some of the best staying power you could put into a movie because everybody will go through that point in their life. And
Yeah.
as it is, I mean, I burst out laughing every time I hear I have a wide set vagina with a heavy flow, and like it's just so it's the quintessential awkward moment in high school captured so perfectly.
I love Tim Meadows as the principal.
I
He's
don't-
just so
Yeah. I will keep you till 4.
makes it in that movie.
I know why he watched it because Sierra and Ollie from the CC and Olie Show are coming on, and we're gonna debate if how to recast the plastics. That's
Build
the
your
whole-
own Mean Girls.
Build your own.
Oh
meat.
yeah, I love that idea. That's great.
So we're gonna recast it with women of all shapes, sizes, colors, and characters.
We almost did Golden Girls.
We almost it was golden.
That's great.
We were so close.
We were so close to getting.
I wish it was I wish it was Golden Girls because I would be a little more knowledgeable. I think.
This is one of the only few kind of cool things that I have about my short acting career when I was in Toronto. But it's funny, Michael, you mentioned the girl that said the line, the wine set, vagina, and heavy flow, which I agree is one of the funniest fucking things. Like, it makes me laugh every time I hear it. I did a workshop the second year I was living there, and she was like helping with it and stuff. And I got to actually do a scene with her. She is so cool. And she told us a story. Like we got to ask her a question at the end of the workshop. And of course it was like, you know, what's the coolest thing anyone's done or whatnot? And she said, till this day, the funniest thing still is people will scream at her, "Hey, I have a wide set vagina heavy flow too." And she just has to be like, "Awesome." Like, and I think that's like still one of the funniest fucking things ever. Yeah.
It is, and it
Aw.
like Tina Fey nails it. How was your rewatch?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Jimmy.
love it. It still holds true. I think everything's still very relevant and very funny. I just wish that we could live in a world the way their high school is at the end of that movie.
Everybody kind of gets along.
Yeah, we all just pretend to like each other and leave it at that.
We were before COVID.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, maybe not to a perfect T like a high school classroom is, but I feel the olden times we were all like, "Yeah, whatever, fucking put up with you." And now we're like, "Get the fuck out of my house."
Right, and I wonder
sick.
about this movie because it's obviously very clicky and they label out the clicks quite clearly, and I love that. But do you guys wonder, Martin? You went to an American high school, right?
No, I went grade school. I went to Canadian high school.
See, I was just wondering if an American high school is more similar to this, because mine was maybe not as clicky, I'd say, but everyone just kind of was around. Granted, I went to school in Selkirk, so
High
yeah.
school is pretty clicky.
High school
Yeah.
is super. Like, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think. I think it's gotten worse. Like, if I was a teacher now, I'd probably lose my job. Let's just say that. I don't want to say what I do because I don't know what I do, but I'd lose my patience. and I'd get fired because I just don't have the time or the patience for sociopathic children.
They're awful.
They're fucking children are sociopaths until they get parented right. I'm sure all of us are products of good parenting, but had we not been, we'd be all poking dead animals with a stick somewhere.
None of us were parented right. Let's just put it out there.
I should.
Yeah, my parents will never listen to this, so yeah, like I don't think they know how to. It's like not because they don't love me; they just don't know.
Did you just say your mom will never listen to our show?
I don't think they know how. Like if I said, "Hey, mom, like go to podcasts on your phone," she'd be like, "Where's the power button?" And I'd be like, "Hey, never mind."
Is that on the AM or the FM?
Yeah, like if you guys can find a way to put it on a DVD or CD, I can definitely get my parents to check it out.
Jimmy, is there any point in that movie where you could see something from real life happen at your school? Like the characters are so over stereotyped, like they're turned up to 11 so that they're the max version of it, but nonetheless.
If anything, just the whole aspect of trying to fit in was very accurate, and just doing things that you wouldn't normally do just so strangers will like you, because we all still do that. I do a lot.
I did it today at work.
It's called stand-up comedy.
Please like me.
Love me. I'm crying.
I'm dying inside. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they get that. What like they show that very well.
Jimmy, where do I watch it? Like if I wanted to stream it.
I think it's on Tubi and Netflix.
Okay. Netflix.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure.
But Tubi.
Tubi, eh?
Tubi's free. It also has What Women Want.
So that's a banger.
You know, it has these little gems on there. It's worth. I mean, it's worth the weird little ads that they have sometimes.
It's so crazy to see our Lindsay Lohan go from Lindsay Lohan to the last thing I saw her in was and like no shame, whatever. Like I'm not insulting the woman. I
It
just
was an ad for Cameo.
she wasn't even on Cameo. She was just doing an ad for Cameo. So
it's like, hey, you guys should use it. I don't, but you should.
Right? Well, like no. I mean, like she was doing sort of Malibu beach property that she.
Yeah, dude, I saw that shit.
I felt because
show.
She had so much ahead of her, right? Like the Triple Threat, acting, singing, dancing, Disney, like so
Herbie.
much. Herbie's the fucking love. I mean,
had Herbie.
That was
re-brought that franchise. Fuck, was I happy for that one?
Was she an Easy A?
Yeah,
no, that's Emma Stone.
Emma Stone, okay.
Emma Stone took over, I guess, for the Lindsay Lohan. When did Emma Stone came? She's like, I got this.
She walked so Emma Stone could run.
That's nice. That's the best way to say it. Yeah.
It is the best way to say it. In an industry that's so fucking fickle, that's the nicest way to say something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna share this. I looked at Mean Girls on Netflix. I added it to my list to watch, and it appears that I watched 10 minutes of it and stopped. So I will try to attempt to finish it again. I think I was pretty high and don't remember watching 10 minutes. Yeah, I maybe watched 10 minutes. I got too high. I'm like, I can't handle this. It's too mean.
Like what happened? 10 minutes.
I took too many edibles. I don't know.
I think there's just narration.
Yeah. I don't
know.
It's too loud.
Oh, that's some funny shit. I watched 10 minutes of this and it was too mean.
That's awesome.
That should be on the poster. Martin Navarro. I watched 10 minutes of this. And it was too mean.
Roger Ebert. That's too mean.
Exactly. Oh no, I remember watching it. I just love Tina. I think she's the shit. I mean, she proved in a room that is normally occupied by a man that she could write SNL with Amy Poehler. That's a fucking accomplishment unto itself because that room is predominantly fucking male. But she's just so like I've read her book. She's so fucking funny.
Yeah, man. Without a doubt.
It's like Steve Martin funny. There's nothing mean about it, but it's also whip crack fucking smart.
Fun and relatable.
Yeah.
Fun and relatable, exactly. And she knows how to put that on the screen in any way.
That's what right? 30 Rock was just so good for that. Like 30 Rock was not really like you couldn't relate because generally everyone watching it didn't work in that tower and work in that industry and whatnot. But the characters, just the way they interact and the writing was so crisp that it's just exactly like it's so good.
Well, it's like she took her time in TV and made a TV show about it. Took her time in high school, made a movie about it. Like she
Yeah.
really does pull from experiences and then puts it. But I mean, Alec Baldwin, and who's the blonde from 30 Rock?
Oh,
Curly hair.
she's so great.
Yeah, she's got a
Is it
comedic presence.
Jane
Jack, no, not Jack.
Chapman Runner. Which he's amazing too. Like he is definitely Jane something, man.
Yes,
She's awesome.
She was also in
Jane
Jane
Kaczynski.
Jane-
That's the one.
Point.
Yeah.
Point Jimmy. No,
Yeah, that's
Google
it.
happened there. Okay.
Yeah.
Jane Kaczynski is contagious. Like she
Yeah.
knows comedy timing. So fucking.
She
brilliant.
was one of my favorite characters. I never finished a show, but she was one of my favorite characters in Kimmy Schmidt.
I was gonna say she also did Kimmy Schmidt. Like she's called in
Yeah.
for like that, overly silly.
She's the best character in the show, easily.
Okay, so would now having watched Mean Girls, how many times you watch it?
You know,
4, 5?
I've watched it a few times.
Yeah.
Then you know what? If I were to watch it again, it wouldn't be on Tubi. It would be on Netflix.
Oh, moving up punching up,
It's a
sir.
real compliment.
Hell yeah.
Way to go, Netflix. You know what you're doing.
You have movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it again too, just to be able to play and battle the girl. I think we're gonna lose. Embarrassingly, we're gonna
Viciously,
lose.
yeah.
Yeah, like I might
Can I
just
sorry,
fall
can
behind.
I just want to say for Mean Girls, her dad, for me, I don't know his name. I hate that I don't know his name, but the actor that plays her dad, such an underrated character. Like that scene where he's like, "You're what do they say? Grounded." Yeah, that's what it is.
I got it right
Like,
here.
I fucking love that.
From Scrubs.
Scrubs, yeah, man, he's so good. He's so good, but he's
Got it.
not in the movie a ton, but he's so like every time he's on screen is fantastic.
What casting? Like everybody.
Yeah,
Everybody's so funny, and they all just hit their mark perfect.
Neil Flynn
yeah,
is
Neil
the name.
Flynn.
yes,
Okay. And
Yeah.
Scrubs, Mean Girls, Magnolia, The Fugitive.
He was
Yeah,
in the
man.
Fugitive?
He was in The Fugitive.
yeah, he's good in it too.
He
That's
does.
confusing.
He does a lot of voice work too. He was in what else? He was in Key and Peele for a couple episodes.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Bob's Burgers. He's Max Flush.
yeah,
Burgers.
Max Flush.
Yeah.
That's fun. Yep.
yeah.
Uh,
And is he also? He's got to be what's his face? Jimmy Pesto. Is he Jimmy Pesto too?
Oh, that'd be
I've
amazing.
always.
Oh, if
yeah.
it is Jimmy Pesto, that would be awesome. I love
'Cause
that
I think
name.
now.
Jimmy
I think
Pesto.
it is. I think it is Jimmy. Get out of here, Jimmy.
I don't see a
Their
Jim,
rivalry is so good.
I
I'm
don't
looking
see
at-
Jimmy Pesto in this
Okay,
man.
maybe it's not. Maybe it's not.
So, well, whatever. All right. Well, thank you for reminding me why it's such a good movie, Jimmy.
It's great. You should definitely watch it again before we face them, or you're gonna lose.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the weight holding you down.
I might recast Mean Girls with the Golden Girls. We'll see.
Whoa.
I like
that's-
that.
I like how you
Think about it.
you merged.
I'm gonna bring my world into their world. Tenet.
That's what it's about, dude. Thank you.
All right. Martin, what'd you watch this week, motherfucker?
I watched the Mitchells versus the Machines on Netflix. But that's
Ooh.
not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about something else I watched.
Okay.
Castlevania season 4 is out on Netflix. I just finished it.
Nice.
It's fucking awesome.
I heard good things.
It's great. It's the same, Mike. It's the same animation studio that's doing He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I am episode 3, season 2, because of that.
Castlevania.
Yeah.
It's awesome,
So
hey?
good.
I've
So
just
good.
to
Richard Armitage? What?
yeah. Okay. Well, you explain the premise of it, and maybe you can fill me in on some shit that I'm missing.
So it's based on a video game, right? It's based on like this this vampire hunter, the Belmont family, and they're hunting, trying to kill Dracula. But in the premise, like the whole story is the Belmont family's kind of in ruins. They're not as popular as they once were. So there's not many of them left. And this takes place years after the video game, Castlevania. So they're just
Okay, so
hunting Dracula.
okay, thank you for that, because I'm like, I remember the game vaguely,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I don't remember this being the premise of Dracula's, because the story is Dracula. Correct me if I'm wrong, Martin. The story is Dracula, but then he finds the love of his life, who is this woman who wants to be a doctor. Dracula teaches her all of the science and methods that he knows. She's charged as a witch, which aggravates the shit out of Dracula.
Been there.
And right, like totally relatable. And then this like by
Well,
happening.
he loses the love of his life, and then
Belmont
basically,
the Belmont family's coming through, and that's where Trevor Belmont. So that's where. All right, so back to you, Martin.
yeah. No, it's good. Check it out. It's just warning, fair warning. It is a fairly like violent
Oh, yeah.
cartoon, but I mean, I'm just saying this because people who are going to be watching the Masters of the Universe animation, it's like a G rating. This is like I think an 18 plus rating, so it's gonna be expect a lot of blood, expect a lot of decapitation, but they're all evil monsters, so everyone's happy. Actually, you know what? A lot of civilians die in this too, so
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do get that. You do get
yeah,
that.
a lot of people get caught in the crossfire when they're trying to.
But it's
fight vampires.
realism. It's realism.
Yeah, I mean that's how they lived back then in the 1500s, in the days of yore. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't around for that.
Vampires?
What is it?
Yeah,
Is it
Abraham Lincoln hunted vampires, didn't he? Wasn't that a true story?
He did. He
Yeah.
freed the slaves and he hunted the vampires.
I don't
Fucking
care what
sick.
anyone
right.
says. That movie's fucking awesome.
I love it, man. I love it.
I
I got
think
it.
It's amazing.
I gotta see it. I've never seen it.
Oh my!
It's totally worth the watch. The director, he's made a couple Wicked movies. He's this Russian dude. Wicked. It's worth it for like the visuals and shit.
I just
He did-
the horse stampede is worth.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
All right,
Mike, you
I'm
gotta
down.
watch it. I
I'm down.
can't say
I'm
anymore.
down.
He did a series of monster, like a kind of Russian style, but it's called Night Watch and then Day Watch, and then there's
Okay.
another one. But it's like that's what got him the job for Abraham Lincoln or whatever. But yeah,
Did,
it's
did he also do Pride and Prejudice Zombies? Is that the same director? Or is that a different guy?
I think he might have. I can't remember, but he had something to do. He might have produced or something, but I know he definitely had something to do with that one.
Was
Because
it?
that's the only way I know of Pride and Prejudice. That's from the zombie movie. I feel ashamed to say that.
I feel.
read the
No,
book?
he didn't direct it. He produced it. He didn't
Okay.
direct that one though.
He had to have been involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
It's his
what- yeah,
style.
Sense and Sensibility Zombies was my favorite.
I would love to see that.
Well, the River Wild Zombies, that was really good too.
What's it called, Mike? That's Warm Bodies.
Yeah.
I still have yet to see that too. I've always meant to. Nicholas Holtz, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, the guy who plays Beast,
Mhm.
X-Men.
Yeah.
That's isn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, I love Castlevania.
Yeah, you're season 2, right, Mike? You said?
I'm right where Belmont meets that speaker.
Okay, yeah.
Give anybody
Oh, yeah.
context, there's a group of people who feel that they need to collect stories of people in areas, and one of these speakers has been left behind in Belmont, who's the vampire hunter, who's come back and tried to. I think he's trying to like make a name for his family because like they allude to Trevor and his the Belmonts having done something that's like
Yeah.
graceful. Does that come later? Like,
Well,
Well,
you're
that's you're-
definitely right on the path of they're trying to restore their name
Yeah.
okay,
again.
all right.
Because they were a popular family. They're a very prominent house, but they've
Right.
come into
Like
hard
people
times.
looked up to them
Yeah.
and now people do not.
Yeah.
So he's trying to be that hope. Like he wants to be that name again of like respect and shit.
And I'm pretty sure that in the series in the beginning, he's like the last surviving member of the Belmont
Yeah.
clan.
Yeah.
Copy
He's
that.
like the only hope essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at, is just where Dracula has summoned his, like, he's pissed that his wife was died and burnt as a witch, so he summoned all of his generals, which are cool because you've got like
Yeah.
Viking vampires, like you've got Egyptian prince vampires, like you have vampires throughout the ages, which I thought was super cool because Dracula is the vampire of all vampires.
French Canadian vampires.
Yeah.
Poutine and
Yeah.
you know,
Poutine and blood.
Poutine, but like in blue pelts, zombie-ish. Like they're trappers. They're zombie trappers who were bitten by a zombie wolf and
Vampire.
vampire. Whatever. I don't
A
know.
Lycanpire? A
Lycan-
Lycanpire.
Vampire.
I've been bitten by everything.
I've been
What
bitten.
haven't I been by?
I got stung by a bee and turned into one.
But it's a really great,
Just animorphs now. He's just an animorph.
great play on vampires and shit.
Supernatural. It's a good kind of
Yeah.
supernatural kind of take on a cartoon.
And it's quick too. How many?
30 minutes. 30 minutes each episode, I think, around there. And there's only like
And
what,
there-
10 episodes a season? 8 episodes?
Yeah, and it's good. Like it's not boring. Like I don't find any of the episodes are filler or anything. It's like every episode is just whoa, and they don't like it's not slow. A
Yeah.
lot happens in every episode.
There's a lot of action sequences in each episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why it never slows down.
it's a very nice, like the last Castlevania I played for, Jesus, probably came out for PS3. Like that's how long ago it was. But just watching the first season, there's so much homage and tribute to the video game, especially the action scenes and stuff, that it is really cool. Like you don't, and I love that they made it so that you don't need to be a gamer. You don't have to have played the video games to know anything about it. You can just go right into it.
Well, the only problem I had actually was at one point it like froze. So I tried to like take it out and blow in the cartridge to fix it, but nothing happened. So like,
and now my TV's broken.
Yeah. I'm like, this is a Nintendo product. Like you just blow in it and it should fix all the problems, right? No.
Isn't that nuts that was the fixer at one point?
Isn't it nuts that there's a label on the fucking cartridge that said "Don't do that"?
Yeah.
You still did it.
And we're like, that's how it works, though.
That's liability. It's like, don't do this, but if it's not working, do this.
Yeah. Oh, you've got to.
But if you die,
How did you even learn how to do that?
responsible.
Like, how did you even learn how to blow on the cartridge and do that thing? Like, I think someone just told me. Someone just told me do this, and I'm like,
dirty.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, like
No one told me. I never read a news article or like saw a news report saying this is how you make Nintendo games work.
Martin, you're so right though, man. Like I
How
just
did you
learned it
figure
from
that
my
out?
brother. I would see my brother do it, and I'm like, okay. And I never asked why. It would just be if you turn on the system and it's a gray screen, you fucking blow on it, you blow inside the system, and it's good. You know, and it's funny. I read a Vice article that apparently the reason that shit worked is the static electricity you would put from the actual like chip part of it. But again, you're not supposed to do it because it slowly just kills it. That's why it'd be harder and harder. You'd have to blow more and more on the things the more you play them.
That's why you had to do like it. Like the first time is like one shot, you're good.
One
then
shot,
next time,
that's it.
2, 3, 4 times, you're
man.
like you got the
And
5
then-
blows, and you're like it's not working.
And then you're like, I think everything's broken now. Nothing's like I blew on it like for 30 minutes.
this. Fuck! I just lost my joke. Whatever. I'm not gonna force it.
So I think we went down a good path. We went down a good
Blowing,
path.
It'll come.
Yeah. So, yeah, I co-signed the shit out of Martin watching this. It's like, have you seen it, Jimmy?
I have not.
You have not? Okay.
I didn't really play the games either, though, so I didn't.
You don't have to.
into it. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. No.
Totally
I
worth it.
realized, and like it jumps into like it does a time jump between two periods. Like it really it's great storytelling.
I mean,
It's-
I'm all in for violent cartoons right now.
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like the first episode is just groundwork.
Okay.
But like in a very good way. But it's basically like, here's the world, here are the characters, this is the storyline, and then it's like, and then it ends on a cliffhanger. So you're like, well, fuck, I gotta keep watching
Well, I'm not the type to just give up on a show after a first episode either. Like I usually try to give it 3 or 4.
Like Martin.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
10 minutes for me. 10 minutes apparently. That's the magic number.
Oh. All right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You got an oldie but a classic with Mean Girls. You've got a new season of Castlevania, which, if you liked blowing in cartridges, then fucking watch that because it'll bring you back to the good old days. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I just wanted to say that Seth Rogen taught me that Duck Hunt was a 2-player game. Because up until like 2 years ago, I always assumed that all you could do was shoot the ducks. But
You can
the
control
other
them.
controller controls the ducks while you control
Yeah.
the gun. And it becomes this fantastic 2-player game. And I was like, Nintendo, you have such bad marketing department. How you fucking missed that? Like that wasn't. I don't remember that being in the instructions. I think that was just a bunch of game designers being like, "We're gonna fuck with people. And it's gonna be fun."
You know what it could be too is that they may have tested it and no kid wanted to be the duck. Every kid was like, gun. So the programmers were like, we're not going to take it out. So they're just like, hey, we won't. It'll be a hidden Easter egg if someone discovers it. Because if you think about it, as a kid, you wouldn't want to be the fucking duck. You want to be the gun.
That sounds like a good job for like a parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Papa, you're the duck.
Papa, you
I'm always the
want me to be the duck. Oh, all right, Charles.
I stormed the beaches of Normandy for this shit.
I will fucking ruin you. Yeah. You don't want me to be the gun, son.
Grandpa doesn't miss any.
Oh, Papa has PTSD.
That's funny. Okay, Charles, what'd you watch this week?
So okay, I've been playing a lot, but I did fit in we've been rewatching Lord of the Rings.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we finished Fellowship and we're like, yeah, no, we just finished Fellowship because Two Towers is my favorite, and like we wanted to watch, like we're like, we'll watch like the first hour, but for me, I'm like, no, I want to finish it. Like I just love the Two Towers it's just so good. But fuck, man, those movies are like just timeless. Like they're still so good.
It's practical effects mostly.
Dude, yeah, man. And I think that's our generation, because I feel like if I talk to people that are like 15, 16, like even to 20, they're like, yeah, I can't watch it. They make it seem like it's a black and white movie, not to shit on black and white movies, but they make it seem like it's unwatchable. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
What do they make it seem like? Like a Marilyn Monroe movie? Like Some Like It Hot?
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like
Casablanca, kids. It's a classic fantasy movie.
You're not gonna get a better orc.
It's a real orc, you fucker.
Oh yeah,
like
you're right.
I don't know. It's so good. Yeah, and like even the way it's filmed, like it's just Peter Jackson in his prime. Because like I didn't even finish the Hobbit series. It just infuriated me. it like I couldn't finish it. It was so fucking frustrating. I'm like, you took a 400-page book and you're making 9 hours, and the only scene for me that I loved about the first Hobbit movie was when Bilbo and Gollum meet for the first time, because that's like word for word right out of the book, and it's so good, and it reminds you of Lord of the Rings. But then you have like a fucking 20-minute intro of every character being like, hey, is this where the party's at? And all the dwarves are having their like own intro. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, they didn't even do this in the Lord of the Rings. There's 1,000 characters in those movies, right?
I'm gonna muddy the waters here. I love that.
Yes. You did, eh? Yeah.
I love that scene, but I will also. I mean, The Hobbit was the first book I ever read. Like I remember getting it in grade 4
in school. And yeah.
Like getting it in grade 4, and it was like, these are grade 6 books, because like I was like a chubby nerdy geek, but like I
could read.
Yeah, I could read.
Yeah.
Get off your ivory tower, Mike, and your fucking words.
Your fucking words.
My leather-bound books, my rich mahogany.
Reading for fun, it makes me mad.
Get your bookmarks out of here.
So I was, and I remember I remember the voyage. I remember seeing it for the first time. I was like, this isn't what I imagined, but I thought it was fun. But again, like I'm a sucker for a good popcorn movie, and that's the that's the difference between Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, is that Lord of the Rings was a filmmaker making some seriously big movies and telling some really extravagant stories. I mean, to bring it forward for a second, Amazon just released their price tag for one season of Lord of the Rings is $465 million.
They're insane. Yeah. They're insane. And I love how they're like, everyone in the world needs to watch this show. Like, everyone, please, for the love of God, watch this show.
So, and here's the thing. I read an article where they were like justifying it, and they were like, well, Netflix just bought Knives Out 2 and 3 for $420. And I'm like, yeah, also overpaid. Like, it does, like,
I don't think anybody was like, good deal.
Knives Out is 70 million tops. Like, Ryan Murphy was just like, I'm not signing that. Up it, another zero. Like, he knows his value, because that's his jam. Like, Rian Johnson is back to Rian Johnson doing what he does, which is kooky movies with fun twists and some mystery or thriller, whatever. But that's his bag. So
that's exactly what Last Jedi was.
Which is not supposed to be. He tried. Me and Charles and Martin talked about this on our Star Wars special. Like, he tried so hard to make it curmudgeon funny.
He just tried again. He tried to make Last Jedi be The Empire Strikes Back. He wanted to be the guy that's like, I want to do the thing that no one expects and no one will see. Like, he wanted to be a guy that was like, Darth Vader is Luke's father, and everyone would be like, that's amazing. But instead, he was like, Luke is lazy and doesn't want to do it. And we were like, what? You thought we would be like,
Luke is Jar Jar's uncle.
Luke gave out, yeah, him and she's a Jar Jar now. And we're like, yeah.
Imagine if you brought Jar Jar back and he was on the island. How furious
I'd
people
be
would be.
so-
Oh my god.
I'd love
You know, that's where Luke gets the milk. He's just Jar Jar's just fat on that shore. And Luke's
Oh,
just like, I gotta get my milk.
Hang on. Jar Jar is Luke's milk boy.
He's still Luke's milk boy.
Like in,
Misa no want it. Misa no want it.
like in Mad Max when they've got their blood boy. That's his milk boy. Like in Mad Max.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are they?
But Jar Jar's, he's been a milk boy for like 20 years, so he's not even peppy anymore.
Oh,
He's
no.
just like,
Yeah, he's got like super red nipples.
Misa kill me. Misa kill me.
Super red nipples. Alien Queen in Alien when they've got her all chained up, just like eating cake. That's what they've got Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, Jar Jar's just like
Can we talk about just one quick thing, how Ryan Johnson made an effort to make Luke useless, but also was like, we need to film where he gets the blue milk. Like, that's what's been killing him since he saw the first Star Wars. And he got an opportunity to make a Star Wars movie, and he's like, I don't care what this movie's about, as long as I figure out where that milk comes from, and I can answer this question for fans everywhere. Oh, that's infuriating.
As we're talking about this, in my mind, all I hear is Luke saying, I blew up the fucking Death Star for this. Like, should have just left it. Should have just left it.
Luke drinks and he's like, God. Like, you can tell, like, Luke's just wrong. It makes me think of Ron Burgundy. Milk was a bad choice. Just rock bottom. Like,
None of it gets in his mouth.
Charles.
Yes.
What do you love the most about Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, going back to Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, it's just like, for me, watching it at my age now and then watching it when it first came out, it's just nice that it's still something that you can feel like a kid again. Like, I still get lost in the fucking magic of it and everything. And like, you know, we know everything that's going to happen. We even say the lines, but there's something so epic about that. It's just like watching the original Star Wars trilogy. Like, if they were still on VHS, my VHS tapes would be dead as the amount of times I've watched them, you know? But yeah, it's nice to just get lost in it. It's still one of those things that I can actually not look at my phone and not be like, oh, work. You know what I mean? That I can actually be like, no, it's Lord of the Rings time. Everyone else can fuck off, you know? And like, because the amount of times I've had to rewind something because I haven't seen it before, and I'm like, oh, I'm on Instagram. What am I doing? I'm an idiot. You know what I mean? So Lord of the Rings, I feel like, is still one of those things that it's just, yeah, it like takes me back to being in my basement in my parents' house watching it like on DVD, you know, in my room, kind of thing like that. Like,
Dude, that's exactly what a good story does. Is it never gets old.
yeah.
What's the corporate speak where like repeat dividends or whatever? Some like
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Well's always full when you go back to Lord of the Rings. It's
Yeah.
long. You can fucking sleep to it. Like, I can fall
Yeah,
asleep
man.
knowing
Yeah.
where they are in my head. I'm like, I know
Can't
exactly.
fall asleep until they get to Mordor.
You're just like, and then they do, as soon as they do, you're like,
Oh.
it's just out.
Jimmy's like that friend who drops you off and it's late at night and he waits until you get to the door before he drives away.
Oh yeah, a true gentleman.
There are orcs out there.
There
Yeah.
are orcs out tonight.
There was a movie that we were watching and Shauna just kept saying this is Lord of the Rings. They just stole Lord of the Rings. I can't remember what the fuck. Was it?
Is
Lord-
Langside Mordor?
We'll always know where Jimmy is, though. We'll always be able.
I mean, Jimmy, you live in Mordor.
Orcs get a bad rap.
They're misunderstood.
you know what? They need a bath. They need some mead,
Born in
some
mud.
mutton.
right?
Yeah, right. Like that's
That's got to be confusing.
it's got to be
just
like,
Who's my dad?
yeah. Am I a plant?
Who's my dork?
Who's my dog? Is that dad for orc?
It is.
Okay,
yes.
what's mom for orc then?
Mork?
Okay, Mork and Dork. Is that-
Mork and Mindy. Mork and Mindy.
Oh yeah, more good more.
All right. Well, I will cap this off here.
What'd you watch this week, Michael?
Oh well, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Smooth transition.
No, that's
Star Wipe. And we're back.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Take the wheel and drive, Jesus. So, I watched a couple things this week. I started a few things. I ended a few things.
Speak into the microphone, Michael.
I know. I'm just.
Just busting balls.
Pronunciation.
You have to.
Anyway, so no, I started The Mosquito Coast on Apple. Anybody?
Oh.
The making of
The doc or what? What is that?
Not a doc. Hang on here. I want to
I'm
get.
not familiar.
We should be more accountable, so I will start googling into my phone. But okay, so The Mosquito Coast is originally a movie with Harrison Ford, and it stars Harrison Ford, Helen Mirren, and a bunch of kids.
Whoa.
River
Ooh.
actually was in it. Sorry, no, there are some famous people.
86.
Whoa.
So hang on here. So The Mosquito Coast was made in '86. That's the movie.
Yeah.
Hang on. An inventor spurns his life and moves his family into the jungles of Central America to make a utopia.
I'm gonna check this out. That's a good cast.
Okay, so that's the movie that it's based off of. The
Okay.
new show on Apple is with Justin Theroux, Melissa George,
Oh.
Logan Polish, and Gabriel Bateman. And it's the same story, just like Fargo, right? First season of Fargo is the same pretty much as the movie, just out of order.
Yeah.
That's what this is. It's that story, but it's been sped up to
Cool.
2021 where you have a doctor who's on the run and you don't know what he's on the run for, but he's hiding from the government. He's off grid. He's not using cell phones. There's not like there's this thing
Interesting.
you don't know. And he just is trying to run his family down to Mexico, to the Mosquito Coast, to create this utopia and hide. Now, I'm like on episode 3, kind of like, do I go back to it? Do I not? Like, I've read too many reviews that it just gets bad, but I like the story. So I'm a little like, do I invest time? Do I not invest time? I love Justin Theroux. I love The Leftovers. I love him as the yoga teacher in
What is it?
Wanderlust.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like he wrote Iron Man. Like I'm a huge, I'm a big fan of Justin Theroux. But I don't know if this is going to carry me because there's just this thing that Apple doesn't do, and I don't know what it is yet. Like you can put Netflix.
Donate to charity.
Yeah. Huh. Nice. For having been able to time that in a Zoom meeting, fucking. So like, but yeah, no, that's one thing they don't do. But like everybody else has a thing, even if it's a shitty thing.
Apple TV is Ted Lasso.
It does, and I think that's their own Ted Lasso.
All they got.
That is their poster. That's their poster right now.
They are, and I mean, like, I love Long Way Round with Ewan McGregor and his buddy who get on the motorcycle and travel around the world. That's really
Yeah.
great.
Mythic Quest is worth a watch.
Mythic
But
Quest-
again, Apple really, again, they were like, hey, the guys who do It's Always Sunny, we have their new show. And that's how they marketed. And I'm like, It's Always Sunny has a big market in the States, but even here in Canada, like I'm noticing more people are hearing about it. But like the show is literally going to have its 15th season. And now it's getting like global recognition. Like it's kind of nuts. You know what I mean? So I think Apple is kind of making good moves and getting talent, but they have no idea what they're doing yet with it.
No, they really don't. You can tell that they're involved because they're like, "Ooh, the sexy world of movies," and it's like, you make like, don't do this unless there's a sequel needed in this scene. How about you go back to your fucking cubicle and keep on the Apple train and don't donate to UNICEF? But like, so I'm there. That's one thing. What I really want to shit on, well, I don't want to shit on it, but I've gone through so much emotion over this in the last 24 hours. So if I get a little verklempt, just like bear with me here. But like, what the fuck is wrong with Cobra Kai?
Like the show
Eating.
itself or like the dojo? Because
No.
I get that.
No, like the kids are fucking bad.
Cultural appropriation? No, I love it. What do you mean? Like, explain, Mike.
Okay, first 2 seasons, the Johnny Daniel story, so glued to it. As soon as they let these kids come in, and I mean, spoiler alert, but it's been around for 4 years already. 2 of them on YouTube Red when nobody knew about it.
What
So-
even is that?
Yeah, but it's no longer is what it is. But like,
Yeah.
So if you're not caught up on this, spoiler alert, but I really don't like how they wrapped the kids into the 3rd season and made them more of the story. And like, pulled Johnny and Daniel out. They did the switch where they were both growing and becoming closer friends, which I just love the Daniel and Johnny stuff, because even as bad as Machio and what's his name? Tell me.
William Zabka.
William Zabka.
Bill.
Zabka. They're even as like out of practice as they are acting, I still fucking love it because it reminds me of the cheesy 80s and 90s of Karate Kid. But as soon as they tried,
that's why we're watching it.
yeah, but when they went contemporary and had the kids learn karate, none of these kids can act worth a damn. And I mean, yeah, there's some really cool one shots, like the fight in Daniel's house in the end of season 3, where they all like kick the shit out of each other. I was like, that's a great one shot, because they like obviously got on a gimbal and they were moving around and you could tell. But I really struggled through getting through the kids, and they finally got back to their story, and then they brought their ex-girlfriend back. What's her name, Martin? Help me here.
Allie, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Elizabeth Shue.
She's the best. I had such a crush on her.
Man.
Oh God,
she is the best.
I see Hamlet too.
Oh, dude, so good. They even mentioned Winnipeg in that movie.
They do.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Coogan.
You'd love.
Yeah, he says he's like, I was a milk farmer in Manitoba or something like that. That's what he tells them.
Anyways,
yes, sorry.
I am just I'm glad that they brought it back to Kreese, and Kreese calling his buddy. Now it feels like it feels like Karate Kid 3 is happening in the show. So, I mean, have you seen it all, Charles?
So I've seen season 1 and 2. I did not start season 3 because I read a review that was saying basically what you are, was that it was hard to just kind of focus on the kid storyline. And I'll be honest, the only reason I care about Cobra Kai is the Karate Kid connection. You take that out, I do not give a fuck. I don't mean to be mean, but like, I'm not a CW kid. I'm not 15 years old. Like, I'm a grown man. So my connection to it is seeing the grown men storyline, like the Karate Kid connection. So the Cobra Kai title makes me a little nervous now, because I'm like, is the future of the show supposed to be where eventually Machio and him are not even involved anymore, and it's just these kids? And that makes me a little nervous. Well, so yeah. I'm kind of just living in season 2 still, where I'm like, everything's good. Like, they were all here.
The child actors aren't good. Like, the kid who plays Robbie just looks confused all the time.
He looks like a poor man's
Mark Wahlberg. Oh yeah, really, Mark Wahlberg's kid. Like, just what's going on? I don't get it.
Yeah. Hey.
Like,
he's
never seen anything before.
See, I don't like.
Looks like a Jonathan Brandis brother. He looks like a Jonathan Brandis. That's what he reminded me of for some reason.
What they're doing with what they're feeding these kids is they're trying to recreate the 80s cheese that we can only take from Johnny and Daniel, because that's not introduced to Johnny and Daniel. So your new age kids trying to be 80s funny, and it doesn't stick well, right? So that's the only like, as soon as they had Allie and fucking Allie, Daniel, and Johnny at the Christmas party, I was like, yes, give me more of this, right?
Yeah, that was like, I did watch that scene, I will say, because I found out Elizabeth Shue came back, and I'm like, well, hey, I don't give a shit about what else happened. Let me see that scene, and it's so good. She looks fantastic too. She's also in The Boys, and she was fucking great in that season. Like, so good.
What's his name?
Homelander. Homelander. Yeah.
We love you.
You know what?
Yeah.
Oh, I love you, Shue.
I love with her in Cocktail, and have been
Adventures of Babysitting.
Adventures in Babysitting, man. Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
So, Martin, you asked why, and I gave you the longest answer.
I agree. I totally agree. I think the best parts of the newest season was the fact that they bring back a lot of the original Karate Kid story from 1, 2, and 3. That's the best parts. And, you know, it's hard to get through the other storylines, but for me, it is worth it just to see those moments. Is there 4 or 3 seasons now? I can't remember.
I was so focused on the end that I didn't know what lap I was in.
I think there's 4.
Well, there's
okay, I'm caught up. I've seen them all. I just can't remember what season we're on now.
No, I was just like, when like you lose focus, but like said Charles, you're like, I just got to finish Castlevania, so like you feel, or whatever you're watching.
You got to prioritize, you know. Do you think Hilary Swank will come for an appearance?
Could be.
That's pretty. I heard, I did hear, and Netflix has definitely got the money, right? Like the fact that Netflix is their show now. So I think that'd be cool.
I'll counter that. Will Smith is a executive producer on it, so he's got.
Interesting.
I'm thinking Jaden is probably going to be there before Hillary, just because.
But Jaden, he
Jack-
learned kung fu, man.
I mean that Jackie Chan might show up.
If they really want to get meta
Okay.
with and brand and acknowledge that those are in line, because you have to acknowledge that the next Karate Kid
Because that's how they got me with that movie.
and the remake of the Karate
Yeah.
are not.
Hologram Pat Morita.
There you go.
My God. Oh my God.
How-
That's so funny.
How has nobody hologrammed everybody's favorite sensei? Honestly,
It's funny how
and just look into Mr. Miyagi's eyes, and he'd be like, "Wax on." Like, that's the best.
and he's like going and his arms going through them because it's a hologram. So then they're like, oh. I love how Futurama's idea of, capturing the greats was a head in the jar, and ours is holograms.
Hang on. I just
But honestly, and Martin, it's even funny. Like, so you're all caught up, and you even say that it got good again, and it's like, yeah, what did Netflix think? Do they really think the majority of the audience watching a show based on a movie
Like
and
teens?
directly connected from the 80s, the TikTok generation is really watching? Like, come on, it's us, man. Like, it's the people that grew up with the Karate Kid, and like, yeah, like Jimmy, you said it too. Like, I went and saw the remake because of Jackie Chan. I'm like, okay, like I don't give a fuck about Will Smith's kid, especially then. Wasn't he like 9 years old or something? Like, he didn't do anything yet. He was just literally Will Smith's kid. I think
His first movie. I think that was his first movie, right? Or
he did Pursuit
was
of
the first.
Happiness.
And
So
this.
and that was good. Like, don't get me wrong, but you're also with your dad. So, like, how hard is that? But anyways. Yeah, he beat me when I didn't get the lines right. I was like, but he got you a good performance, kid. No, but like, I think the fact is I hope Netflix, especially with bringing Shu in, is they're being like, okay, we fucked up, but like, yeah, let's keep the 80s back. Like, we got to keep it connected there, because that's really what, like, we care about. You know what I mean? So
I bet you there's like a huge graph somewhere that shows the skip pattern of like everybody watches 1, everybody watches 2, everybody starts to fucking just jump skip through 3.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Shu's episode and her appearance in the first one. Like, there's got to be a huge cavern there, because and that's the shit that Netflix makes mistakes on that studios wouldn't. Even as dickish as they are, they would be like, no, we're stretching way too far out of here, and someone would have been like, these are talentless kids who need more time. Like, and I shouldn't say talentless. I'm so good in their own regard. What I'm saying is the shit.
They're not practiced.
They're not practiced enough.
Yeah.
Pull off. Like, Johnny has confidence in being an 80s rocker, and he knows
Right.
to bring that on the screen, even though it's 20 years later. You believe it. And same with Daniel and all of that shit. But these kids,
They also have to act alongside each other.
yeah, there's no real.
Like, who do you bounce off of?
See, if they could find a Stranger Things formula for child actors and bring that in, totally would work. Because Stranger Things, the reason why it works is those kids are good. Like, they're very engaging, they're very talented. But if you're just going to take kids that have no actual experience, like, do they at least do their own stunts? Like, they do their own shit, right?
No, I was watching closely, and unless they edited like really well,
They got the guys that cover the nips up, that CGI those nips out or put different double on. Those guys could do it. If anybody could make me.
But is this the
believe-
fault of Netflix, or is this or is Netflix just picking up someone else's garbage? Because it's a YouTube Red show, right?
Yeah.
They didn't do the casting originally. Netflix didn't
You're
really
right.
have a say. You have no choice. You have to use these actors now,
Right.
unless they just kill them off somehow.
And maybe now that's why, with them ending the way they did, what you guys are telling me, maybe that's Netflix's way of being like, okay, we're gonna get back on track with the 80s guys. Those kids are there unless we kill them in a bus or something. Let's go to the new karate tournament, kids.
Oh no.
But like, it's like, you know what I mean though? But like, yeah, like, I hope they just get back on track, because yeah, like, it's so funny seeing Micheal, man. Micheal is hilarious. It's so, like, all of them.
he knows what he's doing. He knows.
Yeah, 100%.
He knows there's some charm to it, but don't milk it too much.
And
Just
now they're making.
Yeah.
and now they get to get some of that Netflix cheddar, which is big fucking dollars, big debt, big.
Good for them. Good
But-
for them.
Yeah, no, I here's two things. Here's two final notes. Okay,
Oh.
first final note. I would watch this again. If it
Mhm.
continues this way, I would watch this again in the car that Kreese put the window in
Wow.
the end of one while sitting in the car. Like I would have glass.
What is that, Scirocco?
I don't know, but like when he's
Rocco.
just through two cars, I would want to
Yeah.
I was watching it. So there's thought number one. Thought number
Okay.
two, I give it out of 5, I give it right now 2.5, no, two crane kicks out of 5.
2 green kicks. Love it.
That's where I'm at with it. And I hope like if someone's watching 5 and they and they say it's really fucking good, I hope they're not lying to me because I mean I'll come back. All right, because I want more Johnny and
Why was that one of the?
Well, it was just me simulating that I'd suck the dick of Johnny and
Oh, I thought you were being like 3 cheers, hooray! 3
no,
cheers.
that was a
Thought you were brushing your teeth and choking.
You got to get the molars in the back.
well, I'm glad I never auditioned for anything because brushing my teeth looked like blowing somebody. Here, brush your teeth. Okay.
They'd be like, "You're supposed to be reading a book."
You mean this isn't a gangbang?
Oh,
This isn't Bang Bus?
Jimmy, what time is it?
It's debate time. Ding,
Lay.
ding. Yeah. Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Beep, 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 beep.
Charles, give me a sound effect.
Oh, pew 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 pew.
Oh, that's okay. There we go. That's on the sound pad I have actually. That's the pre-installed.
That Jamaican
think
horn.
it's-
Is it Jamaican horn?
Yeah.
But everybody thinks it's the cool sound. Anyways, yes, Jimmy, you're totally right. Fucking debate time.
Oh, right. I thought I was wrong.
No, that would have been funny.
No, Jimmy, you're wrong. Get out.
We're not doing a debate this week,
Yeah,
idiot.
No. It's never gonna drink, fucker. No. So this took a couple weeks to do. We had to push it a couple times because we weren't ready for it. Because actually, I had to take some time. I'll have to pull up the rules so that we've got reference for it.
Please
But
do.
yeah, just because it's fun. So okay, first of all, this is Harry Potter inspired, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, it's low hanging fruit. Everybody loves a good Harry Potter something, right? Including J.K. Rowling. Usually it's the points that she trades on, I would imagine. But
Unless you're a trans person, apparently.
yes, exactly. Then she fucking the J.K. Rowling. But this was inspired by sports. Martin said we hadn't done sports for a while, and I was like, cool, let's do sports.
Because
And
we aren't good at
because we're not good. I think that's why like we're not sportsers here.
sportsers.
Yeah, that's not what we do in our spare time. We watch a lot of dumb shit, and then we come here to talk about it. That's so.
That's right.
Unless you're
We
on
learn.
we learn exactly. We study. We study the
So we found a fantasy magical movie sport.
exactly.
We make our own sports.
It's the closest we'll ever get, and that sport is Quidditch. Which, if you have been living under a rock for the last 20 years, is the game that they play at Hogwarts. I hope I get all these words right because there's going to be
You're doing great.
Harry Potter.
Doing a great job.
Them fans. Are
Yeah, your pronunciation's really good so far.
Just be Jimmy and be confident like you've never seen the movie.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. So that talking hat, no, the sorting hat, whatever. So Quidditch is with multiple balls, trying to score with one of them, grab another one. We'll get the rules up here, but if you've never seen it, I would suggest going and looking at, or in the episode notes actually at this point.
It's like soccer on broomsticks.
Yeah, exactly. That's the easiest
Yep.
way to explain it.
That's a great way to say.
So
There's a couple magical elements obviously added, but yeah.
Wizards, you know.
Yeah. Sons of
looking at
bitches.
Jimmy.
It's like soccer. If soccer had like a sudden death, everybody loses in the end.
Like a battle royale moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
totally.
children could die during soccer,
No, they just wave their wands and their limbs are finally fixed. They're fixed.
that'd be nice. I'd honestly rather them be turned to like the mush, like he turns it into the first time, or
Yeah. Just like fucking
No
took the
bone.
out.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
or a
okay.
little. Like, can I have the ones in my hand, but not like my forearm?
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, we'll do this. We'll fantasize about how we play sports doing Quidditch. And obviously the right thing to do is take another group of characters from any movie or TV show and insert it into a 4-man Quidditch team. Basically, made it easy. each team has 4 positions, so you have to fill these 4 positions. As we found out, though, Quidditch actually is played around the world. Like, there's street Quidditch games, there's leagues, there's teams, there's standings. Like, it's like esports, but more magic. So
Children can fly now.
children can fly now. So we're using the way children can
Be
fly now.
afraid.
We found mutants and we put them in sports.
Justify the use of the rules. This is more about who could play the game based on what position and what each position requires of said person.
Right.
So if you're a Quidditch player out there, if you're a Quidditch fan, if you're a Harry Potter nut, I haven't seen all of them. We would love to hear from you, and it would be really fun to hear from you with your pick, who you think would do this well
Build
from
a
another
Quid-
movie.
Build a Quidditch team.
Build a Quidditch team and send it to us, and then we'll share it all online, and we'll tag all of you guys, and we'll have some Quidditch fans here. So that was my last minute idea for everybody. Do it, fucking do it. We love to hear from you, right, Martin?
Hopefully we can get
Yeah.
Right,
if
Jim.
you cool, get to
Right, you'll communicate. Charles, you'll answer to your Probably one.
I was saying it'd be cool if we could get some actual league players to comment, get some actual inside information on how, because that sounds pretty dope, actually.
right.
You know, I hope we can live in a world where it's like, sorry, bro, I can't. I got Quidditch at 5, and people would be like, sick.
That's a
You know what I mean?
dream world. If Quidditch was my biggest responsibility right now, I'm like, God, I don't want to leave it
Yeah, right.
through a pandemic. No, just give me a broomstick and 3 balls and whatever. So
You
let
know
me
what's
pull.
Yeah.
Fun, Mike. Quick little thing here. After the first Harry Potter movie came out, my parents got me one of the toy Nimbus 2000s, like the broomstick. kind.
Oh,
You got that?
awesome.
Yeah, it was great. It made sound.
That's awesome.
For some reason, it would vibrate.
Oh no, Jimmy found
Oh.
out masturbation.
I imagine many a child found out about masturbation because of the Nimbus 2000.
That's-
Can I take this one? for a second?
Absolutely.
I got something here. Was your Nimbus nimble after, or was it?
It was
a-
Numble.
Numble.
Yeah.
I'm gonna comment. If this was a movie, this title would be How Jimmy Got His Groove Back.
Ha!
By a
Oh
vibe.
my god.
Still have it.
That's the name. Where did,
That's awesome.
anyways, so the 4 positions that we are casting today, this is why I put shit in the chat group now so I can reference it.
Mm-hmm.
We have your Seeker. The Seeker chases and catches the snitch, which we will get to in a second. Actually, let's go balls first. Yeah, balls.
Balls deep.
Balls deep.
first.
So you've got snitch is a runner. Well, for the real street game, a runner dressed in yellow with a Velcro tail attached to their shorts. They are released onto the.
They're dressed in yellow. That's great.
Great.
Not an actual flying ball.
Not an actual.
I picture like a bodysuit, like Green Man, but it's Yellow Man.
Right. So, whatever. It's inspired by a movie. So
That's awesome. I love it.
they are released onto the field at the 20th minute and must evade capture. So everybody, if you've seen the movie, you know the fucking snitch is flying around and it's.
It's actually the 17th minute, Mike.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
I read the rules.
I read the rules to a game we will all never play.
You never know. Who knows?
Dude, I
Watch
get
for the last like 5 months he's been playing in a league. He's like, just wait.
I think there's anybody in a league that has never watched Harry Potter.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's just like I came from a broken home and I found Quidditch. These kids were playing it, and that's how I found it.
please. If you play Quidditch and you've never seen Harry Potter, we will not out you. I swear. We'll just want to talk to you. We will not put.
Yeah, I'm just like, how do you do it?
Okay, so once the Seeker pulls their tail, also pulls the tag out of the tail, you win 70 points, which is also added, and the game is automatically over. The quaffle,
Just bullshit.
that's total bullshit. Because like,
Fucking bullshit if we're being honest.
um,
You could be up by 100 and Harry Potter catches a fucking snitch and the game is over.
right?
It's bullshit.
Like, yeah,
And he's always just like chilling on his broom, and then it's like, oh hey, remember? And he's like, all right.
I never,
Hey,
I never.
So just saying, the way they do that with the snitch is in the movie, it's worth 150 points. So you could be up 200 points. If you score 150 and that's all your team scores, you still lose. So
Oh.
it doesn't matter
that's
what you do.
Ah.
in here, the snitch I think is only worth 60 or 70 points in this Quidditch, in real life Quidditch. So you could still score like 100 points with like scoring the goals, and you
That's
could still
interesting.
lose.
Catch the snake.
But the game does end when you catch the snitch.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Right.
it
Ah.
point difference, that 50-point difference, I guess, is what makes it like a little bit of a challenge where you're like, fuck, I've been working hard this whole game and now all of a sudden I lose for one fucking ball.
Still,
Which,
I think Harry Potter's overrated Quidditch player, to be honest.
yeah, he's stats. The quaffle is the volleyball that's used to score points with. So that's the one that you throw through the hoop, right? Flying back and forth. And then the bludger is basically the dodgeball, essentially.
Yeah.
You can throw that at other players and block them and stop them from going. And your 4 positions are seeker, chaser, beater, and keeper. Obviously, seeker is the one who's going after the snitch. That's your quick and deadly.
Dagger, you're Harry Potter.
That's your Harry Potter. That's your Harry Potter.
Is that your Harry Potter, Martin?
That's your Harry Potter. Your Harry
You
Dick.
betcha.
Your chaser, they score the goals with the quaffle. Your beaters obviously use the bludgers to disrupt others from playing. So you get your bruiser, you've got your winger, your left or right winger, you got your defenseman, you got your fucking all-star, and then you got your keeper. It's the guy who stops the quaffle from going in the hole. We got enough of a lay down here. I think everybody knows what we can argue. We all have our points.
Yeah.
I will set us off. Let me pull up my Google Doc.
Oh, and we're only using 4. We're only picking teams of 4 just for because we don't want to pick. If we picked an entire team, that would just take too long. So we're only
Well,
picking
you
4
guys-
max.
Have a bench.
I did like a full draft. I have like a backup team. I got my training squad. Fuck.
It's like it's the 86 Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
Got my AHL, got my WHL going on.
Ah, fuck, man. I made a whole division and shit. I made a cup and stuff, man.
Join my fantasy league.
So I picked a classic late 80s, early 90s movie. I didn't actually check the date on it. I think it's like when is Bill and Ted is what I picked. Anybody know when Bill and Ted came out? Off the top
I'll
of
look it up. Keep talking.
First one, I think it's 86, if I'm not mistaken. No, 88. I think it's 80,
88.
88. And then the second one's 91, I think.
Okay. All
That
right.
feels
I
right.
think.
Yeah, that's I'll
That
give it-
Fuck, I hope so. It's the only thing my brain's usually like. That's the only information my
89.
brain can retain. Damn. Damn.
splitting hairs. So I picked Bill and Ted.
Second one was 91, so you got that right, Charles.
Oh, yay. Thank you.
Oh, I feel so much better. I picked Bill and Ted, and I was torn between Excellent Adventure or just Bill and Ted's
Bogus Journey.
Journey. I was torn between the two. And I really wanted Death because I thought Death would be like a really great addition, but I was like,
It's a
no,
game changer.
but he's also a cheat, and I didn't want Supernatural to get in the way or be called out for it. So I was like, fuck it, I can do
You
it.
can't technically pick Supernatural, Mike.
Exactly.
Good thing you didn't do that.
Right.
That's why you didn't do it.
Really why I didn't do it. I'm just,
Remember, humans only.
But I think you meant he would cheat by telling everyone their shoelaces are untied, and then he would fuck with them.
Yeah.
I would let you pick that character if you said that. You know what I mean? Like that's his only thing
That's
he can
what
do.
you
He's still a
do.
human, but he can cheat like that. That's fine.
I would have. That's all we need to know about that.
Death.
Go ahead, Mike. Proceed.
Gamey play.
Right? Yeah. Battleship.
You made the right choice.
Go. So I stuck with we're gonna have a little bit of a history lesson, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun here. So we're gonna start with Bill.
Mm-hmm.
He's the shorter of the two. So for all intents and purposes, he's also the smarter one. So I think he'd be best be used for the seeker. Being able to read the field as the play goes on is something I feel he'd be well adapted to, as he was the one who actually would look down the phone line. So to speak the plan, why am I reading this all wrong? Oh, I didn't this is the rough copy.
And Mike loses this week.
That was no.
Did you think your actual one?
It is my actual one. I spell checked it and moved some shit around, so I can do it. Whatever, it's all good, guys.
Do you speak in anagrams? Is that how you type?
I'm a court stenographer in my real life, so this is all just shorthand right now. No, I feel that because he's the shorter of the two, he's obviously the more nimble one. Okay, and my second point was the fact that he was more of the in charge guy. He was the one who worked the phone booth a lot more than Ted. So I feel it's something you can put into his hands. I feel it's a responsibility, right? Like I know I'm arguing the fact that phone as something of a good thing, but fucking Bill, guys. I mean, come on. What do I got to work with here? So, in charge of dialing the phone, number one. So in charge of the mission, right? Knows the end game. He's the one who's constantly reminding Ted we got to get back to do the history project. It's not Ted. Ted's the doofy one. Ted's the one who's like, everything is strange at the Circle K. Where Bill, out of the two, is the more confident one. Second to that, who doesn't love a hot stepmom on the sidelines distracting the other team? Missy shows up, and then everybody just...
Good call.
Right? Because she was a pretty hot stepmom back in the day, guys. I mean...
Oh, hell yeah.
Credits due. She comes out, man, your stepmom's so hot. Shut up, Ted. Right? Like,
yeah.
Just so fucking prevalent. Anyways.
And then in the second one, sorry, so good. The joke goes back to him.
So we have Ted as the chaser, being the lovable idiot that he is. I feel this is the best place for him. He's a lovable puppy, and any good puppy is worth his weight in how he fetches. So to have him running around the field grabbing the ball, he's going to gravitate towards it. Now, what's his inspiration to do this? His dad, threatening military school on the sidelines. We know that Ted really is just big, dumb, tall, fun guy. Not really inspired to do much. The bass player in the band, I believe, he's bass. Bill was guitar. Long story short, I feel Ted is good in a position to score goals. My keeper is Napoleon. The guy was put on an island and kept as a prisoner for the majority of his life. You tell this guy to stay someplace, motherfucker's going to stay put. Okay? Yeah. On top of that, if you remember the Ziggy Piggy, he's inspired by New World things. So he's been brought forward. He's playing a fucking game of Quidditch, right?
The water slide.
The water slide. The Ziggy. If you throw a couple Adderall in that Ziggy Piggy as some inspiration before...
Now you're cheating again.
I'm not cheating.
You said you wouldn't cheat. Now
I'm
you're
not
cheating.
I'm not cheating. I'm not using anything that's superhuman.
Oh, no.
Okay? Adderall is a widely prescribed drug for ADHD. I may or may not have been on it as a child.
And I don't think because Quidditch isn't an approved sport, there's no drug testing. So I think it is legal.
Pico, thank you, Charles. I knew I brought you food.
That goes for everyone. So all of our characters can do drugs.
You don't help him.
Guys, I'm already losing.
I'm sorry.
Here. So between the fact that he can be put into a place and controlled in that environment, told what to do, that comes from years of being in a prison. So the PTSD alone to convince him to stay where he is, he's not going to want to leave. Adderall, Ziggy Piggy. Now you've got a guy who's locked in, hyper fucking focused in that net, not going to move. Lastly, we have Genghis Khan. He's the blocker. With a history of command and conquer to his name and born with a club in his hand, I highly doubt anything will get past my wall of China because he's from China. He'll run into a group one. He'll run into any group to the level of completion and block any shot that comes near my keeper. Plus, no one will want to come near a warlord who has zero to little manners and probably has no idea what a shower is. Can you imagine Genghis Khan showing up? The guy just shows up, does whatever the fuck he wants, doesn't shower, takes as many women and children, does whatever he wants. Nobody wants to be around that. That's somebody who you're going to be constantly running from. If I saw Genghis Khan coming at me across the field, club or not, that guy's got an ulterior motive. And as soon as I let him go, motherfucker's going to take care of business. 4 extra points. I can't forget Rufus. He's team management. He's keeping everybody in line. He's letting the guys know that, there is, if you keep Napoleon.
Sorry, who's Rufus playing again, Mike? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Team manager, just in the background. I'm just throwing that in for points. You can't, I don't expect it to be used in my judging, but I couldn't leave Rufus out. So I made him team manager. He's keeping Bill and Ted in line just to make sure that Genghis Khan and Napoleon get back to where they are because, well, Quidditch, what the fuck are these guys good for? And scene.
Okay.
Boom.
That was pretty good for your rough notes.
Right? Like, oh, this has all the red lines for the spell.
Where's the polished one?
No, that's the one that's got like a line of an idea and then nothing else, just that idea, and it's just in a paragraph. So
Jimmy.
it's just
Jimmy.
a run-on sentences that don't make sense, but I know exactly what they mean.
Jimmy, would you like to start?
I'd love to. I would just be so happy to go first.
I give you the floor. Let me get some medication here first. And
One.
Listen.
So your whole thing that Bill should be, I'm sorry, what'd you pick, Bill? The seeker? Because he knows how to work the phone?
No.
Knows how to work the fucking phone, Mike?
I was thinking only in terms of he's very one-dimensional, and he was the task-oriented one. He knew there was an end game. He knew they had to get everybody in the
He
booth.
puts on a suit of armor and falls down the stairs.
I did have that in my debate. I just realized I forgot to mention it. Okay, fair enough. Arguing that a telephone.
Argue that Ted could probably also work the phone. I think you're really selling him short here.
I just see that big, tall, doofy guy. Like he's just useless to me. Like I all my faith has always been in Bill. Ted, Theodore
You
Logan.
picked him.
I know. That's why.
The Baba Yaga?
The Baba Yaga. Nice John Wick reference, buddy.
2.
Sorry.
Oh,
I
that
can't
was-
help myself. Sorry.
Who's gonna hurt?
2. Genghis Khan. You talk about all this shit like he's gonna be, like he's not gonna, he's gonna be the worst human being on the face of
Yeah, he's
the earth
Genghis
and
Khan,
history.
yeah.
That's locker room cancer, Mike.
Yeah.
Wrong with that. That's locker room cancer. You can't have that in the locker room.
You can't give one guy all the starlight, right?
You can't go in a locker room and not shower. That's weird.
That's true.
What's he doing in there?
I played soccer, so I have no idea what true locker room culture is, having not played hockey. So why are we assuming that Quidditch locker rooms would need showers after?
You ever play?
Oh,
I
it gets
mean-
hot.
It is a pretty. It does require a lot of cardio. Like you are essentially running with a broom between your legs the whole time.
Very good point, sir. Yes, you are. That's how this is played in real life. So I mean,
You don't have a broom flying. You're running.
yeah, you're.
3.
Oh, all right.
I'm disappointed that you didn't incorporate time travel in any way to help you win games.
Do you know Martin's in Vancouver? Do you know who we're talking to right now? I knew as soon as I used time travel, I would eat shit for it because I was like, that's like if I use the fact that I could time travel with the snitch, that right there is a leg up because we're all humans, right? So that's outside. Like that's exactly why I didn't use death. Remember, I came up with that all on my own.
All right.
So all right, fair enough. Yeah, your first 2 points do have merit to just shortchange Ted.
5.
Oh my
no,
god,
I don't. I'm done.
Should I bend over for you a little more? Or you...
No, I think Martin can take a turn.
Okay, Martin, tag, you're it.
Okay. One thing that I loved about your argument was the hot stepmom. Because I'll give you this. Nerds get awkward around attractive women. I get awkward around super attractive women. I introduced myself as Larry to an attractive woman the other week, and my name is not fucking Larry. So, I mean, now she's gonna think I'm Larry. She lives in my building too, which is the worst part. So now she's gonna think I'm Larry every time I see her.
That's Larry.
You guys
Like-
know Larry?
You mean Martin?
I told a couple of my friends if we're out and some really attractive girl comes up to me and says, "Hi, Larry," just go with it because I am Larry.
That's awesome.
You're Martin Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Fucking point Jimmy. All right, so okay,
Um.
my Missy. All right, I like.
Okay,
that.
I like that. I like that. I like Missy. That was cool. See, that was something that you brought in the movie that you could use to your advantage, which is what I loved. I'm going to also say this. The Real Debaters does not condone the use or purchase of narcotics, or nor does it condone drugging athletes of any kind. That is not how we do here at the Real Debaters, so I'm just going to put that as a stipulation. If you could put that at the beginning and the end of the episode, Mike, I would really appreciate that.
I do not condone the use of Adderall to steal a French general and trap him in a net to stay focused. I do not condone that act whatsoever.
And I'm gonna also say this. I'm gonna agree with Jimmy. Genghis Khan, not the best choice because Genghis Khan is a savage. I don't even think he'll make it past the 30-second mark of the game without decapitating somebody. Like that's what's gonna happen if you put him in Quidditch. He's just gonna decapitate somebody. Like for the first time in the world, headlines are gonna read and no one's gonna even know that this was a headline. First decapitation ever in Quidditch. That's what it's gonna read when you put Genghis Khan on that field.
Magical Quidditch. That's never happened.
Yeah, not even in Magic Quidditch. Yeah, in real life Quidditch, it's gonna happen.
Is this pay-per-view Quidditch? This is no holds barred Quidditch. Okay,
Monday Night Raw Quidditch.
I like it. I mean, yeah, True. I'm looking at an on-field presence more than like I'm the GM, right? We didn't mention that we are all acting GMs here, so let's bring that.
Owner, player, coach, Jackie Moon.
Wanna get down in love, baby?
What I'm saying, Mike, is Genghis Khan will probably be kicked off the field because you can get cards in this. Hey, you can get cards for roughing and stuff like that. And if you can decapitate someone, that's probably a lifetime ban from Quidditch.
Card at least, yeah.
For sure. I think I think there's stuff like ruffling somebody else's
Feathers.
No, broom.
Is that code for dick?
Bristles, that's it.
Wait,
Yeah, ruffling the bristles.
Jimmy, you might be right though. If anybody has an owl and you ruffle those feathers, definitely you're kicked out.
Mm.
God, I want to find the Quidditch Association and just tag like I'm looking so forward to
They'll block you.
Yeah, we're gonna be banned before we even can be entered in the league.
Please love us.
Maybe they'll let us be commentators. We could commentate a league event.
I would love.
Ooh.
Oh my god! Now you're talking.
And Harry Potter. We just yell that all the time, every now and then.
Is that Harry on the field? All right.
Everyone duck! It's a Dementor attack. We're just fucking with everyone.
Look at Timothy with his Dustbuster broom 2000. The most popular Christmas gift for housewives in 2021.
I would use the Dyson ball. Direction.
Can I use a Roomba as my broom?
Hey, we Dyson ball guy like he's a fucking genius.
Yeah.
But what did he do? He didn't invent Heelys. Like he's not. We should treat that guy like a god.
I can roll into a room and roll out just as fast. Great.
So could the Dyson ball.
So could the Dyson ball.
Yeah.
We have 2 Dysons. That's not a humble brag. That's just a fucking fact. Like one of them is for cat hair and one of them is for the rest of the house, which is covered in cat hair. So I don't understand how I think I got duped into justifying that as a difference. One's cat hair, one's not for cat hair, but there's cat hair everywhere. It doesn't matter. Okay, we have 2 Dysons, but like, I honestly, if Quidditch 2025 is allowed to, merge with
Sponsors.
vacuums, like not just brooms but vacuums, I think the Dyson would make one for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, a Dyson sponsor in Quidditch would be sick.
Right?
That'd have to be light. It'd be like titanium, it'd be super light material.
Yeah. Oh, and Dyson, they would be like, we're inventing a whole new vacuum just for Quidditch.
And it will be.
Everyone would shit their pants for it.
Here's what's going to happen. They're going to invent a vacuum in the shape of a broom. Yeah. And it vibrates.
Yeah.
Jimmy, line up now for Christmas.
Yeah, right? Fuck baby Yoda. I got the new 2020, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, fair enough, Martin. Yeah, no, you're right. So Genghis Khan, yeah. I mean, Genghis Khan's like my Eric Lindros. Just start to control, probably not.
I was gonna say Todd Bertuzzi.
Better. Who's
Steve Moore's fine.
Who's the bruiser on Detroit?
Bob Probert.
Probert. That's what. Yeah, Probert is my Genghis Khan. Charles, I will give you are now knighted but it's still your guest, so you get the last bits of me.
Honored.
Shit on his chest.
Honestly, so you did have I have a soft spot for Bill and Ted, obviously, so you definitely had me there, even as Jimmy pointed out, a fucking phone, he was right on that one with the comparison there. Yeah, you had me, and then Missy, definitely agree with Martin. That was a great addition for sure, because oh man, hot stepmom at any age is great, but a nerd, that's a game changer, right? I have to go home, you guys.
I came my pants.
I gotta go. Don't ask me. I have to leave.
The golden snitch came out of my pants.
But yeah, you just lost points to me with Genghis Khan, because as everybody pointed out, he would murder everyone. He wouldn't even understand he's on a team. He'd be like, I am the team, and he would murder everyone on the field. It would be such a bloodbath. And I don't think he would even care that it's a sport or anything. He would just want to murder. But I will say you got a point back with Rufus, because obviously I have a soft spot for Rufus, and I think Rufus would be a fantastic GM.
I
So
got comedians on with us here, and neither of them gave me love for George Carlin.
Because you told us not to. You said that wasn't going to be part of your argument.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, even if you like, I want a nod from one of you.
That's off air. That's off air.
All right. Win your fucking Oscar for making me feel like a piece of shit. All right. Yeah. No, I was like Socrates, maybe Socrates.
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 A coach.
Yeah. No, I thought sitting down and explaining philosophy to the other nerds would like distract them. I thought of him, Billy the Kid, but guns. That's not really fun on a kid field of Quidditch, or maybe there's adults playing Quidditch. Who knows? I just assume it's just a league of 20-year-olds. That
Napoleon.
Why don't you use the two girls? Why don't you use the two girls, the princesses?
what the princess
On a nerd field, that would be amazing. Like they would
They
just be
kick
so
ass.
distracting.
the accent alone.
And they have a lot of experience with brooms from the 1500s or whenever he got them.
Yeah.
They were probably around during the days of yore, yeah.
Yeah, no, the broom was invented, so they would be like, "Let me show you how to use this fucking."
What are you gonna say about the English, Mike?
Oh, the English accent. I'm a sucker for it.
Okay.
Like, I want Kate Winslet to read me to sleep every night.
Love you, Beaver.
Yeah. Oi, beaver.
Wow.
So bad.
That was Australian, I think.
Oi, beaver! I'm bloody English!
I don't know what it was, but it wasn't proper. All right. Okay. Yeah, you guys.
I honestly thought you were gonna go with the princesses route. That's what I thought. Like Quidditch, it's a guy, probably a lot of nerds play it, a lot of nerdy guys play it. Princesses would have been like good. They're probably pretty fit. They're athletic. They're coordinated.
Didn't
They
cross my
very
mind,
well could be witches.
but
I
like,
think because, like I said, they formed the perfect band with Wild Stallions. They're the perfect addition with Bill and Ted, and they make the team. All four of them make that team.
yeah, no, that's
Like,
that's definitely a miss there. I could see that for sure. I was just looking from the travels of everybody and kind of thinking,
Should have went with Lincoln.
yeah. I mean,
Lincoln would have been
Vampire
great.
Hunter. Vampire Hunter.
I would have
Party on, dudes.
known your love of Vampire Hunter was so strong, guys. I would have definitely tied something into that for sure.
Dude, Lincoln would have been a great goalie. What is he like? 6'11"? He just needs to just stand there like this.
He
He
could
doesn't
just
need to
hold the
move.
ring.
He can just go like this. Yeah.
Like the Kembe Watombo from the NBA, just like fucking.
Yeah. He's rejecting
What's,
everybody.
Yeah.
Can I ask what position do we think Death would be great for to be playing for Quidditch though? If Death could be involved, because I love Death.
Seeker.
I think he's definitely at the defense, like the beater. Like he's the distraction, right? He's the guy who
Yeah.
distracts people from scoring the goal. So that's what he's best for. Your shoelaces are untied. You're out.
Yeah. And he is competitive, right? Remember when Bill and Ted are playing for their fucking life?
Mm.
He's so bitter, and he always is like, so he'll never stop. Like he'll always keep going.
He doesn't know how to tap out. Very good point.
And just terrible at board games.
Right?
You have sunk my battleship.
So much of it is luck.
I love that. What I really love is he's the bad guy in Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Such a different character.
Yeah.
The fact
It's
that
mind blowing.
that far apart. Die Hard 2's late 80s too. Like he's right around
Yeah.
his time where it was like, if he did that before or after, that totally influences his career because you're like, okay,
Yeah.
if he did Die Hard before, you're like hard ass who does weird naked yoga and then helps people stab other guys in the eye with icicles and shit, and then you get Death, or you get Death first and then you get Die Hard. Either way, you're like, that's some fucking range, and not taking it
Yeah.
seriously because doing one or the other out of sync. That's ballsy, right? Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
There's a through line there. I want to give the floor over to Jimmy Skinner.
Oh.
It's your turn.
All right. Well,
Because I got a fucking list.
I'm gonna start.
A pre-list. Mike has a pre-list.
I'm making a list as soon as
He knows my topic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start by saying I thought we were doing this on Saturday, so I've prepared.
It's written in half writing too.
Yes. It's actually written in a poem.
Oh, sweet. He
No,
wrote verse.
So again, I'll say it. It wouldn't be a real debaters if somebody didn't understand the rules completely. So
Only you.
It seems to always be me.
You can text me all you want and be like, I'm confused on this. No, I'd rather be confused than go in
It
cold.
feels like I do. So I have chosen the Muppets for.
That's awesome.
I don't. You can. I mean, I don't think it could be Muppets in space. It could be Treasure Island. It doesn't really. They're all the.
Yeah.
Fine.
There's not many adventures.
But I have also made the mistake
Love it.
assembling the full roster. So the full roster would be 3 chasers, 2 beaters, a keeper, and a seeker. I'll
Give it.
I'll give you the options, then I'll give you the one that I would fully pick.
Yeah.
For Seeker, I went with who else but Spaceman Gonzo the Great.
Tell us why.
Well, he's got so much stunt experience. He's not afraid to go for it. He would just, if anyone's going to get the snitch, I feel like it'd be Gonzo.
Is the cannon involved? Are we allowing the cannon to be involved? Because if he's been shot out of shit.
We just said no super.
We did, yeah, and cannons are only mechanical.
Does he wear the cape?
Of course. Almost definitely.
It's allowed.
All right, yeah, Gonzo, easy Seeker. Chasers. Now, this one was a bit of a tough choice, I guess. I mean, if it's just going to be people wrapping up points for us, it doesn't even matter because Gonzo's going to get the snitch immediately. So, and with my defense, it won't even matter, so don't worry about it. But I went with Pepe, the King Prawn.
Of course, you gotta have Beaker.
And our Captain Kermit, obviously.
Really, that's a range of line there.
You know what? I feel like Beaker and Pepe are just the right amount of unpredictable that they'll be able to shake the defense and get points on their own. And you need a Kermit out there. You need somebody who's going to rally the troops if we're down and out or if we're not doing so well.
When you do better.
Exactly. Someone who's going to break into song, basically.
That wasn't Australian.
Now, beaters. See, this I thought was an easy choice. Now, I picked Animal and Piggy, but I think if it came down to it and we're only doing 4, I would have to go with Piggy because who kicks more ass out of any Muppet than Miss Piggy?
Touche. She's on that green ass all day long.
She's going to kick the shit out of whoever you
That is
got.
an abusive
I
relationship.
would say she is the Genghis Khan of my team.
Oh, really?
Just came to me. And now Keeper, this was I had to dig into a deep pocket of Muppets, but I couldn't remember his name. Do you remember the big hairy one with the pink nose, Sweetums?
No.
Is his name?
Google. Hang on.
It's not really a puppet, it's a man in a suit, but he's gigantic. I think if you saw a picture of Sweetums, you would know who I'm talking about for sure. He's more of a background character. First appearance.
Oh my God! You picked Sweetums. I know exactly who this is.
You know Sweetums, big hairy one, guy in a suit.
Yeah, I know.
Sweetums.
Oh yeah.
So again, it's the Lincoln. It's the Lincoln strategy. It's the Lincoln strategy. It'll be too big, and nothing will be able to get through because he's just too big and scary.
Motherfucker's huge. Like he's got Kermit in his hand in this photo, and like Kermit is
Tiny.
Kermit is a baby.
Yeah, try getting anything past Sweetums and Piggy. I doubt it. I doubt it. I challenge you. We're shutting up. Every game ends 70-0 because we don't play offense. We just play defense, and then Gonzo gets the snitch. 70-0 every game.
Go on.
No. That's my team.
Oh, that's your team.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will take you taxes first, sir. So, in true Muppet form, where do we put the people operating the Muppets?
Hey, did you see that video of Kermit riding a bike? There are no people.
We've all been led to believe that they're hands up these asses all this time.
Kermit can ride a bike. He can ride a broom.
If you can dodge a brick, you can dodge a ball. Dodge a hammer, you can dodge a ball. Sorry, I don't want to. I'm blowing my load too soon here. Sorry, Charles. Kidding aside, though, we're taking your character. We're not taking the hand that operates it. So I'm not going to throw that out.
No, and I fully believe Kermit can ride a bike.
Oh, I don't want to take your Christmas away.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, I love Gonzo. Gonzo's a perfect play because like it just doesn't sound like that, but also does.
Yeah.
But like, He's just the wily one. So you want somebody who's flagging all around. I do feel that my only downer is Miss Piggy doesn't know when to say when. Like Genghis Khan just goes to 11. I'll give you that, right?
Mhm.
You're going to have decapitation before anything. But I think you're also going to have, you're not going to have locker room problems as much as you're going to have bad morale.
I didn't think about the relationship either, having both of them on the team. That's interesting.
And yes, thank you for giving me my last point because there could be strife, inter office relationships with the Piggy and the Kermit thing that might throw the whole team off.
Well, they seem to have a different problem every movie.
They do. So I mean,
Kermit fucks around.
he seems like a James Bond, just picking up frog ass everywhere he goes.
Yeah, it just falls in my lap.
Yeah.
And Kermit the Frog with all my ass. I got to work on my Muppets. Last point, yes, the inter-office relationship would just cause you'd lose focus, right? But everybody else is great. I think Animal should have been there more. Just blah 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 blah.
You know, I wanted him as the beater, but if we're only going one, it's got to be Piggy.
Yeah,
Can't have her on the bench. Too valuable.
and like you don't want to get emotionally involved with Piggy. Like as soon as like she just won't give up. So
Piggy's a stats character.
I am. We did talk about this before. My only real disappointment in you.
Me personally.
You personally is no two grouchy guys in the top
yeah,
rafters.
maybe they're fans roasting from the stands.
Yeah, like just some, maybe they're calling the game.
Yeah.
That would have been
Oh my god,
right.
that's great.
This if you'd been like, don't vote for me on this, but the two guys calling the game are the two assholes. Are like, look at this Quidditch game.
Well,
Oh, it's fucking piece of shit.
I didn't prepare coaches, and I mean, I guess if we're gonna have probably Sam the Eagle, but we're past it, so
Too old. No, I'm just kidding.
it's too late. The debate is passed.
The debate is passed. All right, Martin.
I'm also gonna chime in on the Miss Piggy. I think she's too much of a temper. She's known for her temper, and like Mike said, she just doesn't know when to say when. She'll go past it. And I think she'll be the one on your team who gets ejected. What I did like about yours is I like the goalie. The goalie was a solid choice. You have basically a giant wall who doesn't have to move. He can just block the post with his hands and stand in front of one and block the other two. Doesn't have to really move. That's a good choice.
I don't know his height, but he's got to be at least a Lincoln tall.
He is. He's pretty tall. Like I saw the picture of him. That's a pretty goddamn tall Muppet.
One Lincoln.
Like he's like a Snuffleupagus, Big Bird tall, I would think, right?
Yeah, like a Chewy.
Yeah. So that brings me to the next point. The rest of your team it puts them at a disadvantage with the height. They're extremely short. I guess the seeker is okay, but like people who are trying to score goals, I mean, a normal human should just go like this, just down. Be like, no.
I'll say I forgot how short they were. That Kermit is not just regular person height.
If we took out the 5'11" that's operating him and just gave him the 1'5" that he is, like I mean, that's a Muppet right there.
Yeah.
You've never seen it, Charles.
Yeah. The Michael Petro Muppet.
Get out of here.
It comes with a hand already in its ass.
So
Just like the real Michael. It's so cool. I love that Muppet. It's so dope.
Oh, cool.
Now kiss it.
Dude, that's wicked. That's like a straight up puppet.
It is. It's a straight up Muppet.
straight up Muppets.
That's wicked.
She got like I wear hair ties like a doofus because someone
I
needs
see it.
So she had that done. She's got like the little gray schmooch on my.
Love it, dude. That's awesome.
My like newsboy hat. Like it's yeah.
I love it, dude. That's wicked.
Look, I'm sorry I didn't pick your Muppet to be on the team.
That's what he was going for. Why
Yeah.
did you pick me, Jimmy? I'm right here.
Betty, I'm ready to go.
You're cut.
Put me in, coach.
Just don't have it, kid.
Roger cut.
My last point, and as much as I love Gonzo, he's probably my favorite Muppet. I think a better seeker would have probably been like Cookie Monster.
Oh, well,
Because you just tell Cookie Monster there's cookies in the golden snitch, and he would just go nuts and try to fucking grab it. Like no one would stop him.
I didn't know
He's eating that.
into Sesame Street? Because does that mean I can dive into Fraggle Rock? And like, how far does it go? Where's the
Well,
end?
there's crossover with Muppets and Sesame Street, isn't there? There is a crossover in the
I'm
universe.
pretty sure there is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well-
I would have picked from that.
Universe building. So I would. I mean, I wouldn't have even thought of that. But if you'd done it, I'd have been okay with it. Like it's
Hell yeah.
all right. Like it's all
Yeah.
hands up asses. So
Should have picked Big Bird.
yeah.
I have regrets.
I
Regret.
have regrets.
All right, Charles, make him regret it even more. Then
Honestly, like the one thing I will say, I think the Muppets was an amazing choice. Never in a million years would I have even thought. That's why when you said the Muppets, I laughed because I'm like, how the fuck are you gonna pull this one off? I love it. I honestly thought it was great. It's just the only thing I couldn't get past was having Piggy and Kermit on the same team. They always get so involved in their own shit, and then it derails everything. And it's always Kermit fucking up, and we never know what he did. He doesn't even know what he did.
You're right.
But Piggy just doesn't let it go. So I just feel like that would be like the kryptonite of the team, basically, would be those two playing together.
I'll say I didn't even think about it. I did not.
I know, right? I know.
They have a pretty
Yeah, but-
abusive relationship.
I know. They
Yeah.
didn't take Manhattan because of it.
so. Well, we've reached the halfway point of the debate, and I would just like to say, Jimmy, that no matter how bad they're making you feel,
Mm-hmm.
I used the phone booth as part of
did.
So
Yes,
I'm,
he's good at phones.
He's really good at phones, man.
Bill can
I think that's got to be the title of the episode. He's good at phones.
Well, we've reached our halfway point here, gentlemen, and I'd love to insert a sponsor here at some point, sometime in the near future. So if you're out there and you listen to the show and you're like, "Hey, I'd like some advertising on a podcast,"
I could fill that dead air.
we could fill it right here. Right here. We'd be like, "You're important. You do awesome shit. This is why," and we would all talk about it, and that would be fun. So if you're listening, you think that realdebaters@gmail.com. I am going to move this along because we are on a time here. Unfortunately, we're not. Doesn't feel like we have any time really when there's a pandemic. But
What is time?
what is
Yeah.
Ask Christopher Nolan.
Talk about it.
is that exactly?
It's backwards and forwards.
So, Martin, let's hand the mantle over to you, sir. You now have the podium. You now have the.
Oh, is it me? I thought it was Charles next.
Oh, what's Charles? You're right. Sorry. No. That,
Oh, whatever.
Charles.
Switch
All
it.
right, here we go. All right, so I picked the Average Joe's team from Dodgeball, just because the first thing I thought of when we decided street Quidditch is I'm like, I feel like dodgeballers might have a little bit of an advantage with this like adaptation. And as soon as I think of dodgeball, I fucking think Average Joe's. So I think what I did was I reimagined. So the Average Joe's equivalent for Quidditch would be the mediocre muggles. That's the name I got for them. Which I think is still a good approach because it's still like, it's not intimidating and it's kind of misleading. Like you're going to think it's an easy win, but as we know, they're the true underdogs and they're not an easy win. So I just think that's a good strategy with having a name like that. For the Seeker, I went with the very obvious choice, Steve the Pirate. And the reason being is, Martin, you kind of made a good mention of it. And the whole thing is you would just tell Steve the Pirate that the snitch is treasure. And he would devote his whole fucking purpose in life to getting that snitch. And he would believe it because the snitch is so special and it's bright and fucking yellow. And it's the literal game changer. So I feel like he would just be perfect for getting that snitch. For the beater, I went with Kate Veach, I think is how you pronounce the last name. And I just realized how funny that is. But Kate, who is played by Christine Taylor in the movie. She is Ben Stiller's, I think now ex-wife. I don't even know, but anyways, she is, yeah, like I picked her because one, we know that she is very athletic. She is just in general, she's skilled. She's got some tricks up her sleeve, literally when it comes to playing, a sport like Quidditch or say dodgeball. She's very aggressive as well. And while she looks small in stature, She definitely packs a powerful punch. And then I also said a huge advantage, which is something she pointed out, is that she's bisexual. So she has no problem fucking up a guy or a girl. So you don't have to worry about her taking it easy on anybody.
That's a
Which,
idea. I never thought of that.
I think that's a pretty good advantage, right? You know, it's something she's proud of. So good for her. For the chaser, I went with Peter LaFleur, who of course is Vince Vaughn. And reason being is, you know, he's just got a natural talent for leading a team, which I think you got to have on the field at all times. And I feel like a chaser's a good kind of leader for that role. Also, as we know, he has a God-given talent for a fucking freak shot that we still don't understand how he pulls off, but he can do it. And I feel like he could definitely do that in Quidditch. And it's not any kind of magic. It's just absolute skill. And then for the keeper, I went with Gordon, who is played by Stephen Root, who reason being was Gordon is probably the biggest underdog on the team, just in every way. Like you just look at him and you don't think he is skilled at anything, but he has a deep fire inside and he has a deep rage of hatred to do with his wife. So I think if I just tell him that the ball is like his wife's head or something and it cannot come near him, he will do everything and fucking kick it out of the way. He'll catch it and throw it back at people. So I think if we can channel that the same way we can channel Steve the Pirate for grabbing the snitch, I think that's kind of like, that could be a real golden opportunity there.
As long as O'Houlihan, anything's possible.
So funny enough, I'm going to steal from Michael here and say, not officially part of the team, but for just bonus points, I would make Patches O'Houlihan our GM, because if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Sorry, I blew it earlier. I didn't mean to.
No, dude, I thought that was great because I'm like, the people didn't, we knew, they didn't. So it's like, hey. But yeah, no, that was my team basically. So that's my Quidditch team pitch.
All right. I just disagree with your misuse of Vaughn. I think long legs, McGinnity over there is.
He's about a Lincoln tall.
He's about a Lincoln fucking. I mean, if you expect him to be running like a gazelle, you've got another thing coming. Now that you've got a broomstick or a Dyson, whatever year of Quidditch this is, his legs. That's just all kinds of tripping and, you know, probably penalties because you're falling into somebody, so on and so forth. I love a true underdog story. I'm always a big sucker for that. So even just using these guys, specifically your use of the muggles, like I completely forgot to use muggle at all and didn't even really, like, I know I said team name, but I didn't really come up with one. I think it's in my other notes. But I love the use of muggles because that's a disguise in regard to the fact that a muggle is somebody who doesn't know magic. So the magic is in the fact that as a team, they do really well. So penalty for putting the big long-legged fucker in the front line, but up for your muggle comment.
Fun fact.
Thank you.
What Martin
Appreciate
said,
it.
taking the movie and pulling it and using it like my Missy, right? Like those are the little gems in the sweet spots that you're like, oh, I never even would have thought of that.
Now, fun fact, Michael, Vince Vaughn was the man inside of Sweetums.
Oh, fuck! It all comes full circle.
There we go. Tenet.
Tenet.
That's what Tenet is.
I think that's going to be the cover photo that you use for this on is just our hands all doing this in a screenshot. Tenet.
Oh shit! Everything's fucking Tenet. It all comes back. We're all just going backwards, forwards through time.
It's no more full circle. It's always just Tenet.
Who want you, Martin? You want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Really good pick. I was actually really impressed with the movie that you picked because, like you said, I mean, when I read the rules and I read what each of us picked, I'm like, oh, dodgeball. This sounds exactly like fucking dodgeball. Like real life Quidditch sounds exactly like dodgeball. The only difference is you have brooms between your legs and you're trying to score goals. That's the only added aspect to it. Is that? So I was like, oh, it sounds like it. This is the perfect team to have on a Quidditch field. This is a dodgeball team. I think my only thing was the same thing as Mike is Vince Vaughn as a seeker. I don't know if I would have him necessarily as the seeker. Just he is a
Yeah.
big, tall, lanky guy. I would
Yeah.
have had. I think I would have had him as the goalkeeper, and then I've had Stephen Root's character and said the seeker is sleeping with your wife, and then he'd be like, he'd just run after him. Nothing is stopping him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
nothing is stopping that guy from winning, and he would end the game. He would catch the golden
100%.
snitch.
Yeah, I think I was too focused on Vince Vaughn's like trick shot and the fact that like, that whole epic thing. So, but it's true. Like I definitely, the height thing, I totally didn't even think of that. I was like, fuck yeah. And in a goalie, that would make more sense because you can utilize the space more.
And like I can't, as much as I try, I just imagine that no matter what Vince Vaughn character you have, he's just one motorboat away from being one son of a bitch, right? Like, with Vaughn, I'm always back to Wedding Crashers. So I'm just always imagining, I'm like, yeah, you would just get
Wedding Crashers, not swingers, baby.
well, no, swing. I mean, fuck, yes.
Come on, baby.
You're beautiful.
Swingers is totally the prequel.
See, when I was thinking the trick shot, like Vince Vaughn as a goalie can even do it blindfolded because he could just sense the ball coming, so he can just knock it out.
Yeah, and you can
without
just
even-
like grab it out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
But good pick. Like that was a good team to pick for this sport. I mean, like I said, it's exactly like dodgeball, except you're trying to score
When I
goals at the
read the
same time.
rules, that was exactly it. The first thing that popped in my head is I'm like, this sounds like if you played dodgeball, you'd have an advantage. And I was like, well, dodgeball right away.
There's something to be said for the simplest answer being the best answer, right? Like the best ingredients being the right ingredients. Like, yeah, just makes sense. Why would I light bulb struck my brain. Anyways, Jimmy, what do you think?
Oh, excellent choices. I mean, Steve the Pirate as a seeker is just fantastic. You tell him it's treasure.
Gar.
Gar, Peter.
So good.
Now, yeah, I mean, you've pretty much hit the nail on the head here. I mean, but yeah, I got to agree. Vince Vaughn, tallest guy, got to be that keeper. Got to be keeping him up.
Okay. Yeah.
My hardest thing, I would have had a hard time not picking the Globo Gym Purple Cobras.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh.
And I did. So first I did pick Global Gym. And I even was like, I got to have both Blazers because that's just so stupid. You know what I mean? But I think I just leaned more with Average Joe's because exactly what Mike said. In the end of the day, I love a good underdog. And I'm like, fuck Global Gym. And I also couldn't figure out what to do with Ben Stiller. Because like I felt he was one of the hardest ones to
He
figure out.
could just be your coach and just have the
Totally.
4 guys as the.
And he would just have food in his pants the whole time. Be like, we can do this.
He would just be on the sidelines, like with electric cables attached to his nipples, trying not to eat a donut.
Fuck.
He'd be like your motivator for your team, like Mike used with
Totally.
his argument.
What was that?
Fuck you, Chuck Norris.
Yeah, have Chuck Norris in there.
Yeah. Fuck you, Chuck Norris.
Any other points before we?
No, that's pretty much all I had. Great choices.
Thank you.
Charles,
Thank you.
we all kind of dogpiled on you there. So anything you want to spit in our face? Because we'll give you the last word. We're not gonna walk off.
Oh no. I think honestly, I'm like Martin really pointed out, and now I'm like, fuck, what a missed opportunity there with putting LaFleur as the keeper, like switching those two. But I'm just happy that you guys appreciated all the picks because the one I was most nervous about is I'm like, I think Kate is such a funny character, and I love that movie ends on that note where she's like, I'm bisexual, and I just think it's such a funny joke. So I'm like, I got to fit that in, but I obviously don't want to offend anybody. But I was like, I think it works.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, right. Like,
I
and if you know dodgeball, you will get that joke. Like, it's a direct reference to her character. So
She's very athletic. She's a cannon for an arm.
dude, yeah, like doesn't she? Yeah, she's the one that throws the
Decapitates
ball
Ben. Yeah.
and decapitates the standee. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
Genghis Khan, like,
it
I don't
is.
know.
Oh,
It's a little. She did decapitate.
Well, dodgeball
A
was
mock
played with
man.
decapitated heads back in the day. So
That is true. That's so good.
oh shit, that's awesome. All right. Martin, seal our fate here. Nail in the coffin time. Send us off so that we can vote this shit out and see who made up the best bullshit this week.
Okay. For mine, I went with the Star Wars universe, and I picked Star Wars: The Clone Wars: The Bad Batch. So for my team, have you guys all seen it? Jimmy, you probably haven't seen it, eh?
Yeah, and I
Okay.
stopped watching it. I'm not going to get back on that. Sorry, boys.
Just look up a picture of the Bad Batch characters, Jimmy, really quickly while I'm going through it. But so my keeper is obviously going to be the big guy, Wrecker. He's basically a huge brick wall. And for a big guy, he's really agile. Like, he fought in the Clone Wars. You see him dodge lasers from droids, which are basically machines programmed to kill people. So he's quick enough to dodge a computer that's programmed to shoot and kill things. Great. Crosshair's my chaser. He's like my goal scorer because he's a sharpshooter that never misses. I mean, there's a scene in the Clone Wars where someone throws him a knife. He shoots the knife in midair while it's being thrown at him into a droid and does a headshot into a droid. Like, never misses his target.
I will vouch for Martin on that. I have seen that, and it's pretty fucking bad.
Pretty awesome. And my beater or my defensive player will be Tech. Because let's be honest, who plays Quidditch? Nerds and probably hipsters. What do nerds and hipsters love more than, old school memorabilia? Their cell phones, right? And this is not illegal because I read the rules and it was not mentioned that it wasn't illegal. Tech can probably come up with a computer program to shock the other players who are carrying their cell phones on them on the other team so that, it can disrupt. The main job of the beater is to disrupt players, right? And that's a good way to disrupt players.
Are you trying to argue an algorithm?
Just saying. There was not against the rules. I read the rules. There was nothing saying that you could not hack cell phones.
Muppets don't have pockets.
What else I have you? Okay, so my seeker is going to be Hunter. And Hunter has like an innate ability. He's like a human compass. He just knows the lay of the land wherever he is. That's his genetic, I guess, defect. But he's going to be my seeker because let's face it, if you're playing Quidditch, you're probably not playing on a great like football type field like IG field, right? You're not playing on one of those. You're playing on places like Garbage Hill. It's got uneven ground. It's probably got a bunch of holes from gophers.
Sanctioned. It's all over Winnipeg.
You're probably playing in Transcona. I don't know, right? So I mean, yeah. So I mean, like a seeker who knows the lay of the land, like nothing will affect with him getting to that end goal of catching the golden snitch. That's why I picked Hunter as my seeker. Also, if you're playing away games, you never know the lay of the land. So I mean, this ability makes away games a lot easier for the Bad Batch. And they're like, I think I picked them too. One of the main reasons I picked them is they're a team. They've been a team forever. They fought in the Clone Wars, which was I think a total of probably 7 years. They've been together they've worked together, so they know each other. They can anticipate each other's movements, and you can see that in all the episodes that they're in the Bad Batch, and also in the last season of the Clone Wars cartoons. Their uniforms are going to be black and white with red highlights just on the edges, like their uniforms are with the clone armor kind of thing. And their house name, so each house, like House Gryffindor, but their house name will be the Camino Mudbloods. It's going to be their team name, and that is my argument for the Star Wars: The Bad Batch as a Quidditch team.
I've got everything up here, so I know enough to confirm that he's nailed everything for you, Jimmy, just to kind of guide you through this here. He's got some pretty accurate shit. So I like it because I like your outfit. I really would have, like, your team name is awesome. I just would have gone Clone Force 99 in some way, shape, or form, just because I think that's such a fucking solid name.
So, but the Camino is the planet they're from, hey?
Yeah, no, definitely. I get
But I wanted to bring a little Harry Potter into it.
Love it. Mudbloods.
And they are like with the term mudbloods, like their blood is impure, right? With they're the Bad Batch, so that's why I wanted like the mudbloods. I thought would be a good kind of
hell yeah,
totally is. For context and reference, I have seen enough now. I did finish that first episode. They are clones, which is great because they are programmable, while at the same time, my only argument with this, Martin, is well, not even argument, just like problem is that Crosshair twitches out and kind of goes bad. So if you're playing in the vein of that, because they're clones and they're a bad batch of clones because they don't follow orders, they do what they want. Like they're a really cool bad batch. that's your own, like, glitching on the field. That's my only concern, is that you're in the middle of a huge run. It's the playoffs or something, right? And they all just glitch out because that is a defect from start. It's working for the show. It's great for the story. I need to watch the Clone Wars. That's what's bothering me. I need to watch the
Yeah.
Clone Wars.
So unless Crosshair gets surgery, he's not really gonna, like, none of them are gonna glitch out because their inhibitor chips are defective, and the only way to do that is to get surgery to enhance the inhibitor chip to make them glitch out.
Tommy John surgery on his elbow.
Dude, I'm trying to find something wrong with it, so it's fair. Shut up. Anyways, so yeah, that's it. I mean, I love the costume. I love the merger that you did. It was like you took the two and you were like, no, I'm gonna create a new thing, and that was super cool. Every one of these characters, Jimmy, is very unique in their own way. Like if you do like Star Wars and you have watched the Clone Wars, that's the only thing stopping me from watching it. Besides the point of to his argument, I'm just worried about techie glitching clones in my big huge fucking winning. All of a sudden, score, get the snitch. Jimmy, take it. What do you think?
Well, Martin, I don't know. I think it was I think you've picked the best group of people who are actually a team. I mean, it's a tie between them and Average Joes. Now, going to war doesn't mean you're good at dodgeball. That's all I have.
Oh, okay. So should I rebut?
Yeah, no, you rebut. That's how.
Have they shown dodgeball abilities in the show, or any sport abilities in the show?
Well, just athletic prowess. They've shown coordination, teamwork. They actually have plays that they run in the show, like as a wartime play. They'll call play, or let's go do number play 86, and they'll go into formation, do a certain play to enact out in the battle. So they have that skill of enacting it out on the field.
It sounds like they may be more suited for softball. But no, if you're telling the truth, and if they do, you're not lying to me right now, Martin. And then yeah, cover.
I will vouch for him 100%, and I think that's fair. I think we should have a proxy going forward that if one of us hasn't seen something, somebody else should be like, "Yep, no, he's in line. He's in line.
He's telling the truth,
and he's 100% telling the truth." It all makes sense.
Jimmy, I've seen the Clone Wars.
And
I've watched my movie this week, or my show this week.
That's fucking fun.
Because I watched the wrong movie.
One time, guys, just one time.
A couple of times.
Charles, take it away.
Yeah. So I only saw the first episode of Bad Batch, and I know what happens in like the Clone Wars because I've just read like the fucking, Star Wars, Wikipedia or whatever, but I haven't actually finished Clone Wars. I knew the last season was so, like, everyone said it was so good, so I
Amazing.
Wanted to give a chance and watch it from the beginning. I'm on season 3 and it's really picking up. It's getting really good now. But yeah, so I do know the characters that you're referring to, and the thing that did stand out to me, as I will say a huge highlight, was what you said about tech, just because if you've played the game Watch Dogs, it totally sounds like a Watch Dogs kind of thing where you could fuck with their phones and make their phones literally zap, because in the game you can do that to people and shit. So I thought that was pretty dope, and I'm like, that could definitely be something, because it wouldn't be necessarily a zap that would like kill anyone or hurt them, but it would fuck with them. So I thought that was cool. Now I'm not 100% again familiar with Bad Batch, but I was like, my worry was because they're clones and because of the history of them being clones. I was like, if there's any kind of Order 66 PTSD, or if the Emperor, they're in the middle of a game, the Emperor's like, execute Order 6, and they're like, fuck the game. So like, but obviously I think it's after all that and whatnot. So, but because of the clone thing too, I was like, it just might be too boring for them. Like their approach to it, because they're a team and they got their, their actual plays and stuff, they might be either too aggressive for like a dodgeball Quidditch game, or they literally, it just might be too primitive for them where they just don't want to do it. Because they're like, no, we'd rather go kill and use our blasters and shit. Like, no, we don't want to do this. So that was my only thing. That's it. That's all I have. Otherwise, I think you picked, in terms of a team working together, I think, yeah, you picked one of the best picks for it, for sure.
Yeah, who thought we would end up with the Bad Batch versus Dodgeball? As
Yeah.
I don't think me and you are in the top two, Jimmy.
Speak for yourself, Michael. Muppets don't have pockets.
So just I don't want to the Order 66 comment, Charles. So
Yeah.
because they're defective clones technically, their
Right, they
inhibitor
don't
chips are defective. So when Order 6 it doesn't work.
It
When
didn't
Order
work
6
on
gets
them.
enacted,
Okay.
yeah, because they're defective
Right.
clones.
That's
Because they
what
have
I
that
thought.
free
That's
will,
why
like
I'm
Mike mentioned, they have free will
Yeah.
more than most
Right.
clones, so they're not as programmable.
Right.
So they have a bit
So
more
that's
free
why I
will.
was like, oh, okay, so yeah, like that probably wouldn't, which makes sense because then why would they be called the Bad Batch if they?
And also,
if it
you know what?
worked?
Wars don't last forever, and you know what? Maybe they want to do something that's a little less stressful, like play some Quidditch. You know, they want to relax. You know, who wouldn't want to play Quidditch by the beach here in Vancouver? You know, I think
that
Recco would
be
have a good
pretty-
time. Have a beer. It's like a beer league, Clone Wars. You know, beer league Quidditch. I mean,
I will say, Martin, if that's how they end the show, I will be like, okay, fuck, that was pretty sweet.
they all start. They end Bad Batch with Quidditch. They all start playing Quidditch.
Yeah, and their team name is the Bad Batch. And they're like, oh shit.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Oh shit. Anything else, Martin, before we pull it, call the floor?
No, that's it. It was fun. I like that Quidditch one.
That was
This is a good
wicked.
one.
Yeah, that's great.
Who knew Quidditch could be so fun? Not ever.
I think we should all form a team.
I think we should.
Yeah,
The
I'm
Real
actually-
Debaters Quidditch team.
Yeah, I'm down to try it. It sounds like it's at least worth a try. Like it sounds like it'd be fun to at least try it.
I'll fly down
wanna
for a
try
game.
it. I don't want to try it with people that are like, we've been playing for 6 years, and like, because I feel like if you take it too seriously, you just really ruin it.
Let me get my asthma inhaler first.
Is your broom? Is it the official size and weight?
Illegal curve.
Okay.
Jimmy, did the Nimbus have an illegal curve?
Made one.
He made the curve. Yeah.
Sitting there on a pipe bender, forming it nice, right? Because it was made of aluminum. Was it
I
not?
do call my wiener the pipe bender.
The pipe-
Yeah.
You know what though, Jimmy? You have the best broom because even when you lose, you win.
I
You
win.
just turn that vibrator on. You're like, it's not so bad.
I'm on the lang side.
Okay, so yeah, me and Jimmy will write down, and you will type into the chat group. So Martin and
Oh,
yeah, you guys
But
type.
don't press enter yet.
Press enter yet. Just type it in, and then
we're typing just who we think won the debate.
yeah, you're gonna type in
Okay.
you're gonna type in the team. So if I think it was Jim,
Okay.
type in the Muppets. If I think it was
Okay.
Bad Batch, I'll type in Bad Batch, right? So
Gotcha.
What's your team name? Like, would it have been It should have been Wild Stallions. That's what you missed on. You should have named your
Oh,
team Wild
yeah.
Stallions, dude.
Wild Stallion.
Your team name.
I think that was on my other note page. No, like I don't use Docs that much. I'm cutting excuses. I don't use Google Docs that much. So I thought I saved the one that I was working on. I didn't.
It's not making me vote for you right now, Mike.
No, it's not helping. Anybody feel bad for
Could you use your whiteboard and just write that out so you could just have it in front of you?
Yeah, fuck off. So
Sorry, I love Bill and Ted, and I wanted that, but it was good. It was good. You had good points.
I agree with you. I just want you to stop telling me what I didn't do and stop making me hate myself. 'Cause I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna leave this after, and it's gonna bother
You're
me. all
at
night.
your house.
This is true. I'm gonna go home after. Yeah, upstairs.
Jimmy, you should have picked him as a Muppet.
You really you know
I
what?
would have secured
Yeah,
one vote for sure.
for sure.
I would have voted for you if you had Mike Petro Muppet, because as a Muppet, I would have voted for you.
You know, is he
Yeah.
a man or is he a Muppet?
That you could have done nothing else but that. I would have given you my vote.
Yeah, I think everyone would have, because it's right there in the room.
I
Right?
actually gave you that Muppet and it ended up looking like Jason Segel from the new Muppet movie.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
That whole new Muppet movie happened because of his love of Muppets and Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
Because he's always
I
wanted
didn't. They did a second one with like Ricky Gervais, I think. Did anybody watch it? I never actually watched that one.
Muppets Most Wanted.
That's what it was. Was it good?
No.
Yeah, it didn't look great to me, man. I saw the trailer and I was like, nope, doesn't have the magic of the Jason Segel one. Like, not at all. Seems like a gimmick now.
I know
right.
every song from the Jason Segel one.
People want to hear us fucking vote. Let's fucking vote.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Count it down.
I'm going to count it down here. Me and Jimmy will turn over. You and Charles will hit enter.
They're going to be able to read mine. You'll have to read it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do anyway. So, 3, 2, 1, boom. Average Joe's. Bad Batch. I've got a dodgeball, and Sir Charles has got a dodgeball. Congratulations, Charles, on the same day that you've been knighted as a new fucking half episode, buddy.
Sir Charles.
Oh,
Sir Charles
thank
knighted.
you. Thank you. That is, I mean, hey, what better
Want to say?
like intro to the group could I ask for? So thank you. I was really excited about it. I honestly, it was so funny. I was so pumped to pick it. And then I was like, is it kind of cheating because they're like already on a team and they play a sport? I'm like, no, I guess it's like, you know what I mean? I was just I told Mike, Michael literally is like, man, you need to enter your thing. And I'm like, I'm overthinking it, man. I don't know. And then finally I was like, fuck it. I'll just go for it.
Yeah, I was like, no, dude, don't fucking go hard in the paint on this. Like, it should be the first thing that pops in your head. Like, mine was Home Alone. And I was
Oh, that would have been great.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
The Wet Bandits, Kevin, and Mom. Like,
And
that
that's
would
an
have
easy
been
Oh yeah.
right. The Wet Bandits. Like, I was, and like having thought about it after and done all the work and misplaced my notes. I'm going to keep bringing that up. I was like, I should have done Home Alone because like booby traps, you know.
Oh man.
Having a mom, mom would have been the seeker.
Just having a mom in general.
Just having a mom in general.
Yeah, just say Kevin is the golden snitch, and she would go there.
Like
Oh yeah.
you'll get home to Kevin. Like, come on. What about talk about dangling a carrot in front of
And
somebody?
then there's
Could the team
Right? The tarantula. Like, there's so much to work
the
with. there.
tarantula would have been on your team.
Well, it would have been the team.
that
Could've
would have been the logo
could've been
for
the mascot.
sure.
The mascot.
Yeah.
Tarantula mascot.
Could the team name just be Kevin and Caps, and it's just only Catherine O'Hara saying the team name and just screaming it always?
Joe Andy's the bus driver from game.
They're the band. They're like playing. They're the cheerleaders.
And sponsored by Kraft Dinner. Your uniforms are sponsored by Kraft Dinner.
Yeah.
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 Can I get runner up just for not doing it?
I want to vote for Mike's other pick.
Yeah, can I vote for that too? Mike's other pick, the Home Alone that didn't make it on the debate. That's a great one. Kraft Dinner sponsored uniforms, like Tim Hortons sponsors soccer
God.
uniforms.
Right?
Oh my god.
I was so close at the end.
Always go with the
Oh my god. The fucking pigeon lady could just have pigeons just fly across the field at any time.
Well, it's gonna be in the park, so she'll be there.
Yeah, she'll be there just by chance, right?
Yeah, by chance she'll be there.
Guy with where's the guy who's shoveling sand? In
Oh, the salt. He's your groundskeeper. He's your groundskeeper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god!
I like the lesson there where it's like, old people are scary. No, they're not.
They're just lonely. They're just lonely.
Talk to your daughter.
Yeah.
He's like, I will. Thank you.
Yeah. You know, no one's ever told me I should do that. God damn it. You're a good kid.
Oh,
Oh, Home Alone. That would have been awesome.
What's at it, Mike?
almost so close, but so far. I'll win one this year. I swear.
Just do Home Alone for the next one, no matter
Yeah,
what
just
it
pick
is.
home. No matter what the debate is, pick Home Alone. And just work with it, man. Work with it.
Oh well, that is another round of roughhousing from us, ladies and
Hell
gentlemen.
yeah.
If you have finished your first episode of us, you should learn more about us, see us, read about us, shop us, possibly donate to us. All of these things can be done at therealdebaters.ca. That's the website. That's where you can see pictures of Jimmy, Martin, Charles as well, and myself. You can read some of the blogs we've done. We're doing new cast bios. We're treating everybody like a Playboy centerfold.
Ooh, should I pose for a new picture?
I was hoping
Yeah.
Give me some George Costanza if you could.
It's the timeless art of seduction.
I think all of us should have 2 photos, and the second photo is the George Costanza. Like we all have an interpretation of it.
Like, go-
Yeah.
That's such a good idea.
We
Okay.
tried.
socks on too. Socks have to be on for that photo.
Have to
Great
be.
sock,
Have,
get
and
the
a watch.
socks on.
And does he have his
And a
watch
watch.
on too?
Yeah, he has a watch on too. Yeah.
We all do it. We all do it from the privacy of our home because we're not doing it together, and because that's not a photo shoot.
That's a gangbang.
It's a gangbang. Every 5 guys in a room with socks on is a gangbang.
Hey man, if Real Debaters goes OnlyFans, we got content lined up.
Yeah.
For days.
We haven't corrected. But so realdebaters.ca, everybody, just to get you through the shameless self-promotion shit. That's where you can find out all about us. If you want to support us, Jimmy, what can they buy there?
You can buy skateboards. You can buy skateboards and sweaters, t-shirts, and mostly skateboard decks.
Mostly skateboard. No, there's lots of shit there, but no other podcast has, and yet somebody has still yet to buy. Somebody buy a fucking skateboard, and we can do something.
It's
for you.
summertime.
It's summertime, and the weather is hot. No, Shaggy.
Skateboarding weather.
Skateboarding weather. Kick,
Yeah,
push.
man. And nothing's better than a crisp new deck on the rails at the Forks. I don't know. Come on down, get your decks.
Yeah, when I said that you were a half patch, that meant you're not allowed to talk during this portion. No, I'm just kidding.
That is totally fair.
No, fuck. Yeah, so therealdebaters.ca. If you want to contact us, therealdebaters@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media, which you should, because now we're doing video. Jimmy's new video is up there about his review of, what was it of, Jimmy?
Kong and Godzilla.
Kong and Godzilla.
The
And-
love story that is.
And I want to put this joke on record, which you now own. It is yours. But I said to you, I was like, did you know they were making a sequel for Kong, Godzilla versus Kong? And you went, no. And I said, yeah, it's called Baby, or Son of Kong is what they plan on doing, right?
Son of the Kong.
Son of the Kong. And I was like, but they missed the one in between. And he didn't say anything. And then I just went, Dong of Kong.
Dong of Kong.
Did Kong fuck Godzilla? Is that how the baby Kong gets born?
That
Oh, it
is
is.
how
Yeah, I don't.
you eat Mecha Godzilla with love.
Mm.
Jizz.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He was his.
Ooh, there's got to be a
nimbus.
furry porno for that, eh? You think?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
How did it exist?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see Jimmy's review of that, and we're all gonna be doing reviews and shit and having some fun stuff with that. We have a YouTube channel that is in the works. Once that's up, it'll be on our shit. I don't know, me, Jimmy, whoever figures out a fun video for TikTok, we're there too. I don't know how to work that shit yet, so.
You're doing great.
No. Honestly, TikTok freaks the fuck out of me. Like and maybe it's age, maybe it's I don't know what it is, but like I just look at it and I'm just like, there's too much 30 seconds of everything. It's just too much 30 seconds of
You're overstimulated.
Yeah.
it's overstimulation. So I just want to find some fun dumb shit that we can do for it. So
Yeah.
because
Me personally, I feel like it's an age thing because I lasted like half a day on TikTok. I thought I was gonna have a panic attack. I freaked out. I deleted it. I was like, what the fuck is like the news feed drove me nuts. Also, I don't get a lot of it. It's a lot of young kids, and some of the videos are like 10 seconds, and I'm like, what does that even mean? I don't even understand. How does that have 1 million views? I'm like, what the hell's going on? Oh, it's too fast. It
No,
goes too fast.
it is, but there's also some really cool shit if you do search it out, and I would rather
Yes.
provide everybody with some real cool shit of something unique and funny that we all do here. So when the time comes, when the inspiration is there, when lightning strikes,
We're gonna do a dance.
we're gonna do a dance. Is exactly what the fuck I'm saying.
Can't wait.
I'm gonna do it.
Doja Cat.
I love
Doja Cat's next song.
how I'm hyping this shit up. Like it's gonna be some real fucking bold 30-second clip, but it's just gonna be us copying another dance. Ooh,
Maybe we'll get Lindsay Lohan from Cameo.
yeah.
She could help.
Oh, I love that. Anyways, we've been the Real Debaters, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Michael Petro.
I've been Sweetums.
Change the intro, so I figured we change the outro, but I like this one better. All right, so I've been Daniel LaRusso. You've been
I've
Sweetums.
been Sweetums.
Charles, who have you been?
Patches O'Houlihan.
Martin?
I like to drink my own urine because it's sterile and I love the taste.
That's all you have to say, ladies and gentlemen, to end the fucking podcast. Watch all the movies, kids. This has been a blast. We are.
Oh, that was my face hurts from laughing.
Good one, guy.
Oh.
That was